municipality, son of the former presidential candidate, former president, Idi Amin Dada. To save time, I want to request the chairperson, and today we had a very good day in UK in a good constituency where we campaigned for our presidential candidate, Mr. Ngom. Yesterday we campaigned in Dokolo for Dr. Lalam, who is carrying our flag. That constituency used to be headed by the late Cecil of us. Upon my take with you, Nakwai, chairperson of Lira, to introduce all the teams of Lira districts and the Dokolo and the Molatal, all the chairperson and all the people received us. I want to thank you very much. As you told us today that Honorable Nandala is received a blessing from the late Dr. Paulo Newton Okote as one of his person he mentored to serve the people of this country. So I want to request the chairperson of Lira to introduce other leaders of Lamu.
Thank you so much, Ikanya.
Yeah.
Over the radio, near Newton Freddie Ukelo, a random woman party in the city. You can take the presidential candidate, and we win you to Sunye. We look at the team, one of the what you're and to it took the amount of people running. I'm to be only to a meeting or kind of a good tell a party may allow. I'm to check it took not to bed like never can take the honorable Heiser joke. Water the late and the morning and take you to the north and I have a flag in the north. I'll take the honorable Jatin Brian Ogotu. Niobiru Guri, I may jabiti and the delegation. And the chairman FDC for Oyam district. And the chairman of flag here the sub-county district council. We take the Honorable Fred Obore, I met him at flag at Yalom Mayor, candidate Mayor Lira City. Take the Honorable Moses Itian, Mayor Jim flag, Lira City East. Actually, Lord Councillor Lira Mayor's seat, Mayor's Council. Take the Honorable Emmanuel Mamokwal. During county, we get here to Lira, member parliament, and the wrestling in the government chief way. We take the Honorable Martin Abo, Councillor Amatoya, with word, member city east division. We take the chairman of Lira City, member FDC, Dennis Ubore. Kanakome. Utike timu kene mekombi ane ngarachela wewe honorable Ronald Ngom the flag bearer wa Mayor Nyapo Tumowe Memory City East Council. Atamo monotera mepata meti yekan joke na ubido bero iyi kameti ni mimi Lira City ko yubera pele mo da omopaso. Ata mlipa chamsara mone pale mano. Nyota Honorable Jeffrey Kanya Nyoro, Onyuto Wakani, Tim Amatubini, Honorable Jonathan Ibalo, but a member of the Parliament, Soroti City, Utike the Honorable Jonah Daka, the National Secretary for Mobilization Department FDC, and a year well, maybe the party FDC. Utike the John Tikunyugo, Department FDC in Uganda Loro. Ticket and Geoffrey Kanya, Mobile President General, Department FDC, that the Hobera Member Parliament, Tororo County. Our ticket Honorable Centenary Robert, Chairman, Vice Chairperson, Mayor from Western Uganda. Our ticket candidate himself, Right Honorable James Nathan Nandala Mafabi, the presidential flag bearer for party in FDC. Apo you know when you're ready.
Right, Poyatek, Awin Radio, Hamonono Obedo Newton, Hameno Neuro, Jo, Hameti, the Party Forum for Democratic Change, the now can get it on a canoe. Yes.
So, briefly, I want to introduce to the people of Lango the candidates of Honorable Nandala Mafabi, because some people need to understand why the FDC as a party decided after after a serious competition between Honorable Engineer Oboy Amuriat, who was our flag bearer last year, and the decision after serious consultation among the elders of Bugisu, the elders of Western Uganda, the elders of Kigezi, the elders of Kasese, Bukedi, and the consensus was arrived at that we grant the opportunity to Honorable Nandala Mafabi, and therefore the delegate conference which was scheduled was called off, because for us we believe in institutional system. We have the Elders Council, the FDC, and once the elders talked, the National Council agreed with the position of the elders, and the National Council of the FDC, sitting in the Najana Kumbi, resolved and requested, and Honorable Boy Amuriat also was requested by the people of Kumi, Kanyum County to consider and run as a member of parliament. Based on that, the National Council of FDC endorsed it and requested Honorable Nandala to be a flag bearer. There are so many reasons. First of all, Honorable Nandala Mafabi is a serving member of parliament and has served as an MP for 25 years. Secondly, he is among the young people who received blessing beside myself while I was in primary school in Okuti in 1985. The late Dr. Milton Obote visited Tororo. And when he visited Tororo among the choir members, Honorable Nandala Mafabi, for whatever reason, he happened to have been in Tororo to receive the late Milton Obote. And in that environment, that was the time that there was a change of government. Him, the elders of Gisu and Eastern Uganda kept on tracking him while he worked at the World Bank, received a request from the UPC leaders for him to return to the country and offer service. Of course, as you know, the World Bank, when you work outside, there was comfort. I want to thank Honorable Nandala for accepting and listening to the UPC elders. Of course, by then we had the Sinde Wangwori, documentation, those were the elders. They reached out and we agreed and want to thank you very much.
Uganda yeranwa tutumia liyotolewe bichen ametia bindi party me Forum for Democratic Change atichekare FDC ametia lo upedo Treasurer General adok member of Parliament me Tororo County North man Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya. Let me take back the microphone to him.
Thank you very much. So I was saying in 1996, Honorable Nandala was the person to thank the country
wano tie yie kan karachiel kede achung bedo president me logo Uganda yera me mahatutumia rio ikera rio wia bichel payol karachiel kede ngola no ento ubinodong award ayore karachiel yore again anidong stabilizing kado hatira board Honorable Geoffrey.
Yeah, so I was saying 1996 he was the president of the country, but he continued to support democratic struggle while still serving. He contributed money to support so many members of parliament, so many LOC5, so many district councillors. And in 2001, when Dr. Chikamese decided to stand, he was among the funders. The people were raising money around the world during that time. So he offered himself when the elders of Bugisu decided to grant him a constituency. So in 2001, he contested as a member of parliament. Immediately entered parliament, he was granted the opportunity to become the chairperson of the Committee of National Economy. A Committee of National Economy is a committee that looks at the loans and the funding of the budget of Uganda. Look at the economy, the planning of the resource, how the money is used and so forth. And from that time, he became a chairperson of Public Account Committee, tracking how government uses money, the thieves who are stealing money. He wrote report that led to recovery of money which had been stolen in Ministry of Education. Money was stolen.
Chon ni payol monono pijami amepegere ento one puritie yekan talk show man pod abino mede karachiel kiri warra nyim achalo nena chi here pire one of winyo komi boridan yina meti ohono kado ngini winyo angit monono lok achung mebedo president akwayo ni yini bed keda penya me yini tie ye home penyo ginor kena me yini mituneyo that talk show man pod mede nyim. Once again I would like to apologize on behalf of the management of Kio FM for the inconveniences that cannot stop us from speaking to the people of Lango. More especially my apologies to Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya, who has been interrupted 2 or 3 times, but allow me to say that also happens. It will not stop. Dami natame agonyo mwame Honorable Geoffrey Mutia Kopo.
Somebody year weka motu nyoji bishi na tunuti ya lokuloni Honorable Ekanya Geoffrey anakola MP Butoroba ero kopa kana leo kusia kopa mwa mungu wa FPC ukela luomu naka na kwa uchi ukele president wa Uganda umuli ni abe ni tarukara ni nakamoro chun amewa mako bendera amewa FPC ni chun the president wa Uganda ni engineer Patrick Amuriat ende kobuni wanachalo FDC
wano ye ni tela unaho eno mi ka wano tie jo wa don me pati te bi be pin den mo ni pire te twal me ka jo woni piem te tele te poko pati jo don me pati te bi no kwanyo dana chiel un kwanyo nasa Nandala Mafabi me ko ni yindo ko woni chung un engineer Patrick Amori at nye chwa un winyo ko pa jo don me pati Omi cha wano tiu kopi, niyo FDC bera pa, political party zuke. Ame otamo ni kada no chepe, gudo pati kono chanali peti. Gira chela me yuro ni FDC da party patu kene, ma chelo bero nene ni. Jo ame chui FDC kare kare, ola ogi, nene ni aloha la peti. Ene mi one team ni, take Nathan Nandala Mafabi, ame kechu mbele president wa Uganda. Merio, kumuni jo metunga president engineer Patrick Amori kana ya ye te ko ni kita do ni jalo chumbo to minni wala be ni duwo be ni chumbo wa wodi wa parliament me Uganda kita chalo Nathan Nandala Mafabi obiru chwa ga kele ke jodo chamo chumi te party na FDC merio te ko ni Nathan Nandala Mafabi be nga Nathan Nandala Mafabi be na tamo tiu kala che ke World Bank ama wuri ngeo ni World Bank be banka ditte me loy be Moro juro mi kange meriamo me quando me occupo con lui antiche lo lagora me per quello. Merio ubere consultant, le consultant che copertino per una mio ta bot ba me willo. Me juro ngata me patti me FDC ukelo mi. Kange tu lagora merio che ne ugo con le mano me Uganda no è tile. Io come ni Nandala e poi abe carameo o borre o bino tororo. Nandala che cara cerchi cagna e ne io per giorna ma cel bulle io me calma Amo biru jola duong up in Wellington, borre a charo president, katoro kunu. Yenen ni kalmasha patte monu tie, ni kalmasha no biru patti me Uganda People's Congress. Yorne Nandala Mafabi me tinti kan, biru ngara chela me okehero. Itegere, ite patti me UPC, tedo me roe na yo chintin me me ala be Uganda. Teko boni kalmasha patti me UPC, yeno biru ngara chela no tiu ke walba. No berangara chela mio chat to toilet e pati karanacha ma tu ye chela mio bonga ni ko ngwe bi chela yo te bi kwa yo Nandala ni wetti me wal ba oneno kwi moro ti ko ni duogo ko chen kana bi chung bi be de wa me ba parliament me we ka wa wo parliament me Uganda woro not do wa me Uganda do to toilet wo e ruo amaro me de wo ni malwa do na wa ma tu ye yo kala chel Nathan Nandala Mafabi te du ko ti me wal ba Erano THR, Tedu will chung a chala member my parliament, met tongi, and more than a good idea. Tebu joy couldn't be chaka and ticket, tell me, whatever you hear, called choro, maybe a member my parliament, met tongi kunu, and a very good idea. Amanda want to copy Nathan Nandala Mafabi, but a member my parliament, I'm not you, no, appear your beach parliament, maybe. Because I know what the parliament kunu, who be to hear. Meberu won kom metul la neno ko bi kom chente agamente kita metiu kala chente amenyu kere jo mo ba me checheru chenna wa de biru yere te beri ye te do biru yere dan do ke me biru bero ngata me won kom me public account committee parliament ne Uganda public account committee me parliament obero ngata me neno kita me chente alwa kamo kelo bolwa tiu kere kita betulu ke kana betulie Nandala Mafabi wingia be ni enye ubiro weya mema kukua don and man require cheta kamete Uganda kana metio record Nandala Mafabi ka koba ruwa me kwanere ya kina jo atie churi no yana do lagoro amelo ala abashi eno kwa ni en kurutien koporo ena momio one team ukelo Nathan Nandala Mafabi boru maybe you to na me no beru kala chel ke Nandala want to chaka no beru kala so ngas
kala wa men might not be like check when was your person of public account committee the inquiry money which was being stolen for drugs in the hospital the kids were arrested the schools that were being built here affect ordered for the schools to be built properly money which some of this road, money for it was stolen. Honorable Nathan Nandala got a report recommending the arrest of some of those people and money recovered. He also ordered in his report, which Parliament approved, money for the ferries, for some of the ferries here in the north, including eastern Uganda. But the money for the ferries, in fact, where the government had approved a lot of money in the report of Parliament. And so much money that the government saved billions of shillings. While still there, the subsequent election was the leader of opposition in Parliament. As a leader of opposition, he wrote several reports on alternative policy. By then I was a minister, shadow minister of finance. A part of it was for the reform of university education, this UPE program. For us, when Nandala was the leader of opposition, he recommended that children in primary schools and secondary school, they needed to be fed. Not just sending children like that. The UPE, which was proposed while he was still in the World Bank, and by God's grace, when he became the leader of opposition, in the alternative policy report, free education with the feeding, and the salary for the teachers that we talk about. In the report that he wrote, increasing salary for the health workers as the leader of opposition, which was presented in Parliament. In the report, which we also wrote as a leader of opposition, compensation for the war victims in the entire northern Uganda here, among others. So because of his background, because of his ability, he's one of the chairperson, the person who has said the only cooperative union in this country. If you look at this cooperative union, exporting coffee, and the farmers in Bugis are benefiting. All other unions that were destroyed, government tried to destroy this cooperative union. He took government to court, and the government decided to refund all the money that was stolen while they had removed him from the chairman when government had taken over this cooperative union. That is a man who's smart. He's a lawyer by professional background. He's a chartered accountant. So he knows law. He knows issues of accounting. He's also a businessman because his father used to deal in petroleum products. So family inheritance, they transferred to him the skills of dealing in oil and business skills. So the people of Uganda want to bring to you, FDC brings to you, a person in the name of Honorable Nandala. Of all the presidential candidates in Uganda, the best opportunity that you have, that we say God is good, that has granted us. A man who loves God, he has supported the construction of churches, a man who loves children, a man who loves this country, a man who's straightforward, honest, and fair. So we want to request you, the supporters. It's unfortunate that the Honorable Jim McKenna has been denied the opportunity in the ballot paper together to take over government. Because President Museveni's time of
then I'm going to look at universal secondary education. Obelo quando mo miu po jameti senior, ya mo ya primary they were senior. Na ko ni mi jo na cha me do ya primary. No tia quando no cha. Wo dong don ne ka do senior. Ko me de ki kwa. La va que standard me kwa ma. Gina chela me na dare ka ko Lira mo position. Obilo katu kere game na do window. Obelo copy com. Me comunicado con jame du jutie tie. Yoro ne yotcom. Jo ameti yotcom yoro chulgi abe. E kadam yoro nenni kana gintia puri tia abe. Eno kera biru katu kere obelo meyo duoko jami America okamo amoro ni cattle compensation. Chulu dok babora kana biru chulu dok alani it has been documentation can check a part of the issue. I remember I remember to ati mara. Amane don gamente dia wati mo ku dia mara yan ka kene achela. You da mi winga ti yo kana me ware ka luni lao cooperative union. You don't pay time. We na mo belo professional accountant and a register with the CPA. You ni ka lu nget me manele ni. Didu laro bi pro di we. Me ario ko na bela chaweli. Yuni kakop mene no kope chapwel. Kele kopo choro kenano kitamela ko chapwel me Uganda. Tida borre. Yiringa be ni papere karen poti ena me kar chanare nero ko. Petrol person kana no pio mo ye kape ko apa papere no tikre. Na echawani en puro panyo puro jame no tiawo. Yuni kakope chapwel me kamo Nandala nyo. Kame chi Nandala nyo. Kame chapwel Nandala nyo. And I built the law. Nandala in te ko tera meno te kala me borre kwa yo tele bot president bejo yuri kado ko bakoba Nandala Mafabi ti yakino tina me UPC ugea me rongi leo me UPC ti come yeno kwale kala me UPC worde chukulu kala ina kwantio mpo popo ni mana kwere eno kwale kala nasha teme Nandala Mafabi tieni keti chabaye do pia kwa yo ni chawa no minere atiri akera no pechechu nyuri kadu na moyo dano ene yede bedo dana me jo me la o ke gene ko me ke muri poyo ni ikara me NT parliament eno be yakine members me parliament amo wuro limu bora na Zambia gina gino lo kunu be jama do poro che kai eno be teketili wote Zambia kunu tiata moni dana me otiubi Uganda be dana me Uganda poyo pile heka utaworo me agiki wuna poyo ni kara no poro to kanu ke joge ani poro kana melio por woriye Nandala Mafabi keno muslimo wena yo oya parliament telo ko te me ko ni dana mo tie chal president me Uganda bala dana mo beru por ni pero mo ko lele be da podo Uganda kara keno lo ya chalo members me parliament en Nandala chieli te choko MP se me ya tum bodi chal kucha dushu wala ko kanya ki ke members me parliament apitikana te ko bigini ba kalu joge na kwero ni ko be be bodi we ko bo be be turki kare ku bishu enemy kala me oboro to kana lilo boro woriye te would buriye ajujo pie mod obero kambala obero kishu yurdi ko dalo ni boro dalo me wan langi yur jole wuru ngere dalo boro dalo be attack dalo me na maro to manu eno bero demo molo me ona ko ikaya obero domo kan ma tawni ngira god forbu ila me passion.
Finally, as I hand the microphone to him, I just want to inform you that if Honorable Kenna had been on the ballot paper and his brother Honorable Nandala, if you see the head, but their head, same style of Bota Kenna, you know. So they would have, we need to deny, their strategy was denying Museveni 51%. And so that we form a government of national unity. Now that the government has frustrated Kenna from being on the ballot paper, all the votes that should have gone to Kenya should be given to FDC, Honorable Nandala Mafabi. You know that he is your own. But also you need to remember, when Konyi wanted to make the people here suffer, among the people that he pushed with the Cecilia Ogwal, the late Kule Park, to ensure that peace talk, that Mr. President Museveni entered peace talk, was Honorable Nandala, who wrote a technical report for the late Kule Park, and the Cecilia Ogwal. Recently, even after, again, we moved a motion to demand government compensate the people here of the war victims, compensating them for their cows. He also participated in ensuring government removed the bread tax, because men were not sleeping inside their houses, women were suffering. So all the women of Uganda should support this son of theirs who are sacrificed for them. So with these two words, I want to usher in your son, talk to you, you hear his voice, you just got the keys. Thank you very much.
I'm not going to say that again. I'm not sure the president of Uganda. We are meeting Yakina, we will attack Uganda again. Dr. Yofes Pulipaki, one of the Charles and Kuchmoigi, Cecilia Wagi, Kirijo Papa. Nandala Mafabi, and I'm over Charles. Waraga or Lily, Lemon, a bench of one, men and me, Jawa, Ame, Rikti Lucha, Jawa Berka Kingdom, men are of Mekobane. When Jawa do Pasho, Mary could do it tomorrow in Uganda. And the middle here, and the choice in a more policy statement, and daughter will take care. And I will clear that copper pole, and Quahoko dog, Medu Passport job. Nandala Mafabi, and I will go down and find Langi long, the job of Uganda, Mirabole Queen, to follow what they allow can be. And Dam Geek and Mergeric in a cow or Garage, and you need to get a more gum. Meodom, Pasenda Memio now the president. Job to the air. Neodom job you forming in a more unity government. Unity government, government, and over the man. I don't wish a video, Melanie, a lot of Uganda, Uganda, I don't wish you, and of Uganda, I don't wish you. Don't be recover, child man. Geruno Nandala Mafabi to me, who we, Mewe, and TP Uganda, Kajakari, and Tikari. It can come a Chairman, one door drop chain, what Nathan Nandala Mafabi, when I look below.
Wait, what to check, time check, and we'll come back. The time check meant for
sponsored my father into the UNLA military to go to Monduli for training. And therefore, when I'm in Lango, I feel at home. I traveled from Kasese yesterday by tarmac, and when we arrived in Bulisa, I told the people who were on board, I said, don't worry, we seem to be going to another country, but we are still in Uganda. And that was reasons because of the bad road network that we've been traveling on since we left the tarmac road in Bulisa up to now. Actually, some of the parts of our vehicles, we have them in the boot because we have bad roads here in Lango, which is very unfortunate. I know that the late Milton Obote believed in equitable distribution of resources, but the change of regime did not answer the question of everybody sharing the national cake. I remember very well, if I'm not mistaken, Lango has a Minister for Health, but I don't know if that Minister of Health reflects the quality of health services that we have here in the Lango sub-region. We have a chief whip who is supposed to mobilize the entire NRM caucus in Parliament to pass laws that are favorable to the citizens of this country. And I know he's very passionate when he talks on radio and TV when he is mobilizing. I don't know what has happened to my brother Obua, why he has not evoked the powers to ensure that we have very good roads in Lango. I am disappointed with him. I must say, I'm a Catholic, I'm very honest. You don't deserve the types of roads that we have been driving on from the time we arrived here in Lango.
The good thing is that Lango as a region has so many members of parliament from different political parties.
Today, I would like to appeal to the people of Lango that you have an opportunity to make a decision that will transform your lives in terms of service delivery. We have only one candidate who is capable of bringing you to the national grid of service delivery without fear or favor, and that is none other than the Right Honorable James Nandala Mafabi, who is even your neighbor here in Eastern. From where I come all the way from Western Uganda, I can tell you we are fairly served, and therefore it is your time. It's up to you, the ball is in your court. Akena is my very good friend, we speak, and I want to tell you, he told me exactly what the Honorable Akena said, that we need to take charge of Lango, Northern Uganda, Eastern Uganda, and some parts of Western Uganda where we come from, to make the change that is desirable. Remember in 1985, when President Museveni came to power, he said he had come to resolve the question of security in this country. That has since been resolved. Today we are talking about improving the lives of the people, and we come with a message of fixing the economy and people having money in their pockets. That is the current problem that Uganda is facing, and we have a technical expert in economic matters, both principle and practice. I can tell you we have the best candidate to fix the current economic challenges that Uganda faces. Thank you very much. May I therefore invite His Excellency, Right Honorable James Nandala Mafabi to speak to Ugandans and give them the package that is detailed and explain to the people what fixing the economy, money in the pocket means in real terms. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. You said your daughter what?
Daddy's daughter, yes.
Daddy's daughter. First of all, very grateful to have daddy's daughter. Kopamo,
Comprende.
Rio Mabe,
Atiabe. Apoyo Bini
Apollo
now.
Bin. Well, when I went back to, when I left Lamu and I went back to Mbale, I forgot most of my money. But I'm so grateful that I'm on this video today. We want to thank the management of
QFM.
QFM.
Yes.
Is it Quality FM?
Yes, Q stands for quality.
Oh, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be here, and also for people who are listening to us. And as my young brother Evan has said, we want to thank all the people who have welcomed us since we came in Uganda. Before I make so many comments, I have a team of my brothers here whom I'll come with. Of course, colleagues, members of parliament, but our next members of parliament.
Yes.
I would love them to hear greet their people in their own language so that people can hear them. And also, of course, my younger brother, I'm here, Isaac knows how to translate many of the things and summarize most of our speaking. And we see to see it. And I'm my chairman, Oboze, Dennis is sitting behind me. Happy that is here. So without wasting time, I'd like my brothers to hear greet the people. I have Isaac Lira, good north. I have my brother Fred Obote, my good mayor. I have my brother Moses Chan, my local councillor, City. I have my brother Emmanuel Omom, well, MP for Jury County. And my brother Obo Martin, Councillor City, and my brother Ronald Wong, also Councillor in the city. So I would love all of you to people and also to learn
Thank you so much, our President. Nandala Mafabi, Mononye, and Wanakobuno, and in a more local people, Chico. A Guinea, a poor Bino, now, Joy Now, Major Lane, a Roma model, or a QFM Major White Studio Can, the right boy, you learn it, do it, and make your radio. When they come and put the water bowl, and they come, your man, if you look at the material can, we call it your material, you allow. Con mono, la que la cielo, en donde todo te coño, tiempo, y como la de Uganda, a mí era un quería que la pena, me fue a ir. Yo estaba ni, yo me va a luchar, yo hago cuando niño, viendo un lucho, de mucho, de como viene a decir, de como micrófono, no me puedo, te escucha con que Venga di Nandala tu.
Chake kwa Portugal goro de church. Kami watin very go me very studio kan. Ya yo matek yo tikelo wiwa akogana me yo tero radio me wini QFM. Akaro mere president wa His Excellency Nandala Mafabi mo kero tek maybe ni na okan. Kai kono bere tilo bere tek bien program ko bere kita nyomi bere kere. Ipe kama hiyo nen politia wo ni chief ikote mayeno o wiwa anya joka ngir gut moy pano na nao anya tia gut wake ya yo mateke tinwan benisi yo kan kanale yiro mimi yo ngeyo options me ba tieke line netela lebe president biro wakan akonyo nemi wangeyo atiteni kadi majine karomo yeah ibet ke ngata me itamiri wateno ngpore twero dai rokete nyimi ichie ingate no bedo ke rekoze no weho nuticha pole no tio lebele kwanere ngeche no domo kede mewa ni bairo tieni Uganda loro Gina timane kare yung Mafabi pero me nyutuni tera onyo lochalwa tie aman ka lochalwa tie jema tina me mi lochalwa bere tie wotingo yo nishti level la chiel me pie me bere tera me bere president yo me bere LC5 parliament dokere pin na LC1 bere ko di bere kito Mario mi chawa mengeyo mena bere ya kina jiwa meti nyimi ma ti ke kande support wa Uganda wane eto kai ni kerta ke tegunya be ni mio mena bere mena eno kana ri pi kana lach ame kado ni peno cha me poro ki chao kana irwe joko pete ngeyo ni atiteni nyomi be kala kiti eto wando tan kiti bero kan tiemi kama ti kiti mekelo ma wan to timo anyen nyu bero kan nyen ni be ma wan ti okobo so president mani tiket nyen mere anyen na ngita no chawa tebi wa ngai dushu ine tebe ni kara me moko kanelo be nyen me wa te kiriki eka ite ye ya titeni amema no be amema me ni to kete ni bore eno keno bero ni ango kana ngati ni no yaye mewa leo yaye bata chela mori Uganda kano ni FDC ameo ya when you're transforming from a reform agenda and kai nano mod kita wano ubino bela harkede ni belo ke mo roma ni ya titeni one tera me disi poetry come down about you a chalo institution ama mi ojo do belo ke do one ama tani ye kunu gino no democracy ti roma me mi yo ni belo kare ni anjer ke ne la tabela che ke ti boti ko ba che mi yo na tera to lo ma chawan agin ti tamuchu ina rio gi engineer poa tera to lo bela pe te do na ni are ino ma ne jechu yo ko ni unde ti ke chawan be wi wa be eto ya yo ma take no chawa pe wa.
He want to talk about the candidate for presidency, forgot about himself. Thank you. Honorable Moses Etiano.
Poet Mina Newton. I'm a teacher shaman, make boy with radio, with yellow show. I put power to give Mogachi Shigamito Coco. Anya Chiang Moses, a church you must have council Amelia City East, no worry, the council Amelia detail. I'm a church when I come, if I chapel up, I don't know chim. You are called you when you are ready. You are not going to do you in a team. Konoka, Akoni, no catch up board, and any idea, so you are one of the chapel up. I may pick it to for your dinner go back to shake it. Man will have a and I want to carry it because we are Roma Pin and Roma Mal. Do not happen in it.
nyo karke mo mi ko botini kira tera mo ka wana yeru nyo wan cho moy ubero kala be me atami o tiru kera be un jo tamun un ngato petia rocho tamwa me wetu neno kiri ngala nga ame wan cho meto me bini tera achama ni tiang Moses atiu ki mo ki pieriwa chen una tiu kera NGOs ateti ti district pieriwa biro Uganda so ka ko betera ana tiu da tikere ngeji yele mo ka mi ko bati shekene ni entera wan chu meto ni jakare ping na hamal ma shero me katera ame marlam atera ame ko bateteni atera me tikira wa ha ko mlaum atera ame chunye be pe laun atera me woro ba en kilo tera wan chu meto ni no apati maneno kawano mio ni tiene tele wa yo wano ruenyu no ko etana me ko kani mo ko tama won oto yero ngatu yero no pe mio kwati ngi dan kere personality kere character dana shira shira mo weki itemi yo kwene ke tukwiriye viene yena no wano ru yene ba ubero bere tuwe ni wone ru miro tino kere yo be pepe chama chawa tama we kumbe na kene yenam me gigi mo bachibu chiro ngene tikere apo wate aneti ya Moses achibu ya city is representing city division kuna worry councilor did my mayor boy.
Right, thank you so much, Moses. Let's go to the mayor himself.
Mr. Pachaduan, for language judge, I met him in your colonel. For your band tag, the Kelu get your poll, Tiamo Yaw will work on. Anika Khan, a bit afraid of border, and the constantly afraid of border. I'm over there. Ana yatia mako bendera, maybe the city mayor, Lira city. Adatia tamunguni oro kando, nilikeru belu Dutch, border. Yan porubera chaki, nani bilu chum, position the mayorship, eda bedo, the politician a chom. Ana doni FDC, umuharakia rio, eda dek, ame ada lawyer the greater patch shall share my FDC. Kareno, we call it put pay, we yam dam put pay, we pania dam put pay. Any carachello, we the car multi-party referendum committee, a metinuke in a more multi-party. We year any tintia what I knew. I have been participating in a tactic one. A damn careno. And we know 89.9%. Maybe you multi-party referendum committee don't know your year 2006. To look at an ahati. Much as I have been a year, it put in FDC at the door of all the movement at the Village of Cherry UPC. Binomio, and have been a year, there was a movement. Karena tunu kunu ada nunggu no transparency peti. Transparency peti macam. Nadu tina do which we FDC no atama ni adugi party amo beri niya.
Excuse me. What is happening? We're getting concerned for so we are just talking here.
I think
Great on radio or where to check or to go with him.
We're not happy. So they were talking to but that is the same song.
But Mr. President wasn't here.
Okay, but is it the city or adjustment of the mics or?
Still believing it would be
No, if it is being low, we may say low. But to be off, someone said off. No, what you saying off is not correct. No, the radio is out there. I've been moving out the monitor. The radio is out there. Yeah, I was here. Unless maybe you were talking. Hello?
Newton, can we
Is the radio, can you hear us?
next to you? Yeah. Let's have Mr. President.
Whom did you hear? Did you hear on my time?
Let Mr. President use this mic, this very mic that
Whom did you hear talk on? Did you hear on my time?
But that's what I use. So that we can monitor.
But that's what I use. You have just have you just tuned in?
But we say maybe some mics are not working.
Even the Brian has just come here.
Let me just open the mic.
No, just tuned in.
Okay, let Mr. President first use
Now,
this mic.
one thing is that we want with the radio background. See when your radio just goes like that, off, huh? That is not a technical problem.
I know.
You know it.
I know.
I'm happy you know it.
I've been on radio for
When the radio just
17 years.
goes on, that's not a technical problem. We are being straight from somewhere. That one you know. Now, if your management is not
Let's
happy
first
with
give
us,
it a benefit of doubt.
what we are saying is be honest with us. If your management is not willing, we go. You can't embarrass my president like this. I'm a
If we
brand.
are not willing, we are not going to accept you to come. I am the manager. You're speaking to the station manager of this radio, first of all.
You know we have a brand to protect.
Yes, we also have a brand. That's why I'm responding. We were going to.
Where are your headphones?
If the radio.
Where are your headphones?
If it is the radio. If it is the radio who didn't want you to come, we would have stopped that earlier now. If you remember, we also kept calling back for you. Yes.
We shall be using the radio.
Whatever they
Let me ask Madam before you put us on.
Yes.
First, we started today. We have had disruptions. We have had
We started at 8:30, actually 8:21, so we were interrupted. Yes,
So
I
if you
took
started
note
at
of
4, I
that.
know, we started at 8:25. Plus 11 minutes.
I took note of that.
Plus now the interruption has gone. So in short, we have lost over 40 minutes.
Not 40. I'm taking notes, sir.
No,
You're saying 40, you're lying, not 40.
How many minutes now? Because according to you, not.
Please, be responsible. Alcohol is not for sale to the persons under the age of 18.
Right quiet on radio, Hamed Wogo, Hiweo, Hachego Chego, Dakiha, Pierre Bongwen, Ingechawa, Hadek, Utieno, Menatin, or the Rogo team, Ame, Atie Yekan, Pijo, Ame to Terror, Yigi, Yame to Terror, Radio Gi, Atia for Winloka president, Wadati Mashuaring Yin, yes, Utie Karachel, the president, Yekan, a man at Rome, a president, my forum for democratic change, Ame Tia Chum to Bedo, a president. Me logo Uganda Lira ametia bironi ite a ticket me FDC ibede chigi ke radio ni ite winu lokere yore karache yore metia log oberu joa metia mako bendera me FDC ame atia chum irwam hapopat Lira city akan karache kede ilao ame ogwera meginu tie ye kanutie na tini mimano mokobori ani a party me forum for democratic change atie kede guri anayotuina yilao atie kede jo ameginda mututero ipinkan ame atera hiwama popat amonono ilogo Uganda kan pilwak melau poyo
ya po me do chen do akameti oho ana kudu ni ana be do fredo borre ame abela baha atia makobendera me FDC de be meya meli la city ana kikere ngencha me olagoro attack itera ana kikere ngencha me olagoro attack itera data le city ubedu gina me yogo ya mechel ana bedu da cha will da tela me city yogo bedu cha will jo me ana bedu me tele ni ubedu jo me do city ba Lira city kan tijo ama cha will chon ameda do kongi potpe edi chawani tijo amenyen kere karani bedo karamenyen ametia mito atela meruwie uchwisho ameromo would kere jo ameruti kahen ana biru ko bedo kegi bidu ne ni mono kana mo go city jama metina le yetia pon kana mechohorwa no chohuyudi amewona beduti ame mi dama meneo kero me manage kana me chohorwa no me biyo ko ono da noti ami dama me neo kero me manage pichawani duon president tiro bilukan eno me ukilo vi city borwakan endi bomara chamo grumolo ko eto bino explain mo neo kero bino yi tamani peme bale chamere wodon nato kene apo
Luak, with the radio, here from Chawani, near the one you mom, Emmanuel Okwel. Near the one you mom, Emmanuel Okwel, and I better take my left arm on a Yaya Jury County. Tione, Peboniwa, Belania Dwayne. If you have there a FDC, I don't Nandala Mafabi. I am time near Lira. You are doing president in that area, near Lira. Near Tenchu, near a minute, Belonia, Major Merity. I don't Mafabi to buy a Bill. Kukoni Bagmela Mie Queen Bien Minera Kena Jimmy Kita Government me Uganda Kwara Kwani Pechini and the replacement Yen Maena will UPCI Chan Karamu Kabaya Parliament the Parliament UPC Don't I talk about Bamina Paul. Yan ang kailangan ko pero karamera. Yan ang mga ate natin. Yan ang tema maro ko studio total. Ahera maro tedero. Yan ang tedero. Ito chain de company ko ana bini studio. Ana aloha. Dong pacha tin chella ti boru luak me UPC Dutch. Luak me NRM Dutch, Luak me FDC Dutch, Kariberu DP, Natameka, Kelaloha Kwawa, Amaria Muchana, Ilo Uganda, Amami Yichene, Abidi Yichawa, Beruka Nandala Mafabi. Domana Kwa Dusha, Luak Mela ya Juri, Luak Mela ya Leto, Utuke, Lira, Yam, Kole, Kwania, Apaj, Molatar, Dokolo. Ni very munkili chunya be attack. Nia kalibe da tinu ajima kena pechu etu tike Nandala Mafabi. Tami tabal chawa mere. Tiena dum Mafabi mirlogi. Atengi ngido yi atino. Bela tin chora. Kami du yi atino. Daine nuni atela no. Amobino, me konyi wanwak, me lao, ichan. Dom luak, chawani, we hajwal, microphone, gora dom Nandala.
Right for your take, Honorable Hongam Hokwel, Achalo Neno Kobo, Niu Hubino Hami Yukare, Wang Hadwong, President, Amantie, his studio, my radio QFM, Luciano Meninatin. Mr. President will speak to the people of Lango and to the people of the country at large. Right, our Hami Akare bot Adana Chel, Hame Atiodom, Ekadom, Tejolo, President. Joaria metudom utedom jalo president atirate kita menena ko bikere party me FDC atie kere huchumo hilwam na party kero tera hina kan peti ya binogi chako atomo bum atonga endu tie karache kere wege ame ati uguru ko hina kan yes.
Yeah, we have who is 12 moderator Pingratin ate for your Veroba ame miongoni mwa kujikomba yora chela nda tepoyo management me radio Q amewek ngino miwa chawa metamani utomo imalo message nokwena mewano tiekere ai kui ametia bironi an miawo Ronaldo ngom ana bedo bulu achel meti party me FDC abilerba miona dog jo bully me FDC me Lira City ugena niana telgi jalo chairperson youth league me FDC me Lira City umia bero kira waha tek tutual abi party amena jiye yoro chela ndo mo hapo unu win radio tutual awa kuni jalo chawo unu atamni kuna iwinwa iwin kwena bere tek me wana tukela boru iwin kwena bere tek me presidential flag bearer wa FDC Kiakel Guru Abere Teki. Aradia Chan Anyapo Juan, maybe no Lira City East Division, Aite Bendera me FDC. Anakatu Pena, in Domionian Kakatu, Ananaha Paboro, Anabero Meno Chinyere, Anachike again, Luak Manyapot, Aginomi Arideni, maybe Lubinotel again, City Council Lira City East Division. Chawa Petia Bear, Tutuan, one tamani, our Haweka Ride, Abora, Awata, Ogan, no again, Moru, and the current baby Chawa, Anami Wing agenda, no Luak Manyaput, I will make you look at the again, Kedemara, and Tinicom, Kare Nino Aromo, and Electoral Commission, we have your yo. Mekwa yupi, anatemi yuweyo, mwa meana chika chel piru, mwa meana chel temu piru, man yukana kelobana.
Oye, tuwala.
Ametenia outgoing, nawek kuchwa kuno, party president wa FDC, mono honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi.
Right, Mono won't come a Guru, I won't come a youth league, I'm a forum for democratic change, I Mono Ronald Hongom, don't hang out a chair can only land a chair can, I had a Mutami Karabot a president, I'm a local work Melau, Muno water bomb, among yes.
Like we should make done. President wa MFDC MPs at level papat, mayor, councillors, the moderator. We are only a Bobati, Bacha John. Over Kenama, German Tapuchum, and Manama Decadeway. And I think I'm aware to be in this video. We took a quiet walk, come on, like a Kamaya, bring you now, a bed. Atiuke community, na nyope hameti community na, pero tinga tokene. Kaya bilu ni yaunu kuiru, kaya mi yaunu kedi kuiru ni. Ana bilu India, ami gunu kuiru, lekelo dono ganu papat. Ate kuwe na mama malu, mene ni service delivery, tunu boru, kita bilu tunu kedi uko. Ya bodo nga bomba tikitu. Kalau preparamos con la machala que es ni ka vivir que echar en correr ya no
apoya machay
jawa alumi yu man personal lel no ni ka fore
mono ni no mera beletie
Imam yani kakan.
Atino Beranina President, I will read you, but it is an honor for the President to give his people time to speak like he has given it. Once again, Mr. President, you're welcome to Lango, you're welcome to Lira. You're speaking to the people of Lango and Uganda at large, but it is of great importance to go back to my first question of what brings you to this region, what brings you to Lango. Very many are eager to listen to you. Say hello to the people of Lango and we proceed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Doreen.
Daughter's what?
Daddy's daughter, yes.
Daddy's daughter,
yes.
Doreen. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank my team I'm with for being with me, because if I came here alone, you would assume I'm an abandoned person. You know, I'm an orphan, but when you have your own people, you are happy. Of course, I've worked with my younger brothers, Kijofre Kenya, the ones they have mentioned themselves, Jonathan Mbawi, my personal assistant, and my brothers and sisters I met in the region. Of course, we welcomed yesterday in Lango region, and we entered from Amrata, Dokoro, today we're in Tom. We want to thank the city, they want to accommodating us until I believe maybe on Monday. We couldn't make it in time for Lira City, but when we came, there were a lot of people waiting for us. I want to assure the people of the city, we're going to give you another day to come back. We're going to come back here. My introduction has been done by Geoffrey, but to add on, I am a teacher by profession, so I'll talk a lot of things about teachers. I'm a farmer. I grow coffee, and if you're aware, there were 3 cash crop crops in Uganda. It was coffee, which is black gold, cotton, which is white gold, tea, which is money magnet. So you have seen out there. And those are the cash crops we got. That's where we used to get our cash. And if you make a country without cash, we're in danger. And that's why we are here. Why we come in Lango, say we come here to tell you that we need your support to take power come next year, so that we implement our manifesto and to assure the people of Uganda that the only pro-manifesto is the FDC manifesto. Of course, this manifesto is found for those who have internet, www.fdc.org, and that's where our manifesto is found. Soft copy, and also we have some hard copies. Of course, within social media, we have made sure they are available. Now, I was brought in politics by old men at that time, and you are aware my brother Ekan has educated them. Of course, another one was there, and that group is Professor Nandala, one of the other one. But unfortunately, all of them, they are kicker, they're all now, most of them are delayed. So I'm here to defend the next people, and I'll also at the end talk about how Dr. Milton Obote was here with nurturing young boys and young girls to really run the country, because he was a person who built a nation. We have a manifesto which I've said, but I would love, our manifesto is put into 5 pillars. Which 5 pillars are the following? Which I want to read to the people of Lango. Then after that, I will go to explain the position of Uganda, your rights, and that's now legal, and what really stands for us. But our mission first. The mission of the Forum for Democracy is to work for a socially, economically, and politically transformed Uganda, where citizens, men, women, youth, and children live a life of dignity, have access to equal opportunity, and become masters of their own destiny. This is elaborated very well. We want people to have dignity, enjoy their country, and nobody applied to go to be born in Uganda. This is a serious mission, and this also follows the constitution of Uganda, which clearly states what Ugandans should have, and some of them are elaborate. Now, our pillars of the manifesto are pillar number one, generate employment opportunities. We need employment opportunity. Why people are falling? But of course, our theme is fixing the economy, money in our pockets. And we have nowhere all of us belong. We have the agriculture sector, we have the infrastructure sector, but all of these have jobs. So we have done it in 5 pillars so that you will understand what our interests do. And I'll just make them in a snapshot so that you understand where we get this and look at how we're going to create jobs. So number one is generating employment opportunities. That's agriculture, the engine of job creation. You know, agriculture, our country is 80%. In agriculture, you know, about 80% of the population in agriculture. And now the agriculture is now our leading backbone in job creation. We have the coffee sector, which we call the blackboard for job creation. We have the fisheries, the blue economy for jobs. We have the livestock production for job creation, cotton, the white gold for job creation, tea, the money magnet, the cooperatives, the driver of inclusive growth. You know cooperatives, you know how the cooperative work. We will try to cooperatives. You know what a cooperative means? If I'm alone to go to the market, I might be cheated. But if we're collectively together, we shall have what we call collective bargaining. That's why we talk of Land Cooperative Union, and that's why we talk about labor spending union, and of course this union is basically the gold sector. Then we have, under that pillar, we have trade and industry. We must deal with trade, we must deal with industry, because trade, after producing, you must sell. There will be the trading and the marketing. Then the industry to do agro-industry and other, because even if we have banana fiber, we'll create mats. Short for agro, byproducts which can be used. We create mattresses. And that's one of the things which I saw in India, that it can be done. You know, banana fiber can even create a mattress, can create bags, can create whatever. Even tables, by the way. Okay, furniture, I'm giving. Then under that we have also mineral development, oil and gas industry, and tourism. That's our pillar number one. They are so elaborate and showing you how each of them comes to work. Then the second pillar is strategic investments. These are strategic investments. That's the roads. We have discovered roads in Uganda are too expensive. To do one road, to do 1 kilometer is $3 million, which is about 11 billion shillings. Yet the cost of the road is stones, those aggregates, sand, water, cement, and tar. And those trucks you see coming around to do the compression and whatever. The 4 items, the roads, the stones, the sand, the water, the cement are here in Uganda. What you only bring is a small component, which is tar, to make those stones tie together. Then those trucks which come on work, those equipment you see are tax-free. After even being used there, they are taken back. And who drives, who are the laborers? The big laborer is Ugandan force, even the driver of those trucks. So eventually you will discover that spending $3 million, that's 11 billion on 1 kilometer, all this money goes out in foremost wastage, in foremost corruption, and of course profits to those companies, because most of them are foreign companies, so the money is taken out. Yet, research shows 1 kilometer of road should go for not more than $150,000, which is about 540 million. So every 1 kilometer currently done in Uganda, we're losing 19 kilometers. That is dangerous for our country, which we need a strategic intervention with new leadership to ensure that we get 20 kilometers instead of getting 1 kilometer. That's why we're talking of theft in Uganda of 10 billion per year. Now I've talked on roads. We have rail. Rail is the best one because rail is good for transporting goods and people. Now our rail such is finished. We have water, we have air transport, we have ICT, that's information and communication technology. The world has gone ICT, whether you want it or not. We need to do it. Every young man, young woman, even the old men nowadays and the old women have phones. They're checking WhatsApp, they're on social media, they're trying to check the prices of their products, and that's how we want to do it. Then we have energy. That's the power. You know, we have hydropower, we have geothermal power, wind power. These are all available, but now we're only sticking on one power, solar power. We're sticking on hydropower from India. And what happened is that solar now has come in, but we are not, it's not yet using the solar harvest so that, or harness so that people can enjoy the solar, whereby we have a sun throughout the year in Uganda. We have land, we have environment, we have water, we have security. Now prayer number 3 is human capital development. We have of course diminishing quality of education. This is where I'm going to talk to you about a teacher. Salary disparities, where they say some teachers or some teachers get high pay, others get low. You see, you get a math teacher gets high pay and an English teacher yet is teaching in English, which English was taught by an English teacher, so that he's able to teach math in English. And now why? So we need individuals who are better now to run the country, so that you see better quality education in our country. Now we have been here, we have walked, all the schools are closed. Okay? So in the ground now people are seeing cows grazing. While government schools are closed, private schools are what? Working. And when President Museveni was issuing an instruction that science teachers are paid the highest salary and arts paid lower, he never talked about the ones in the private sector. And most of these individuals, the ministers, the MPs, the rich people, are taking their children to private. So while ours of the poor people are at home sitting on the strike, theirs are already they're at school. And the exam starts on Monday, theirs will be performing well, then they will come and say these villagers are useless, what? Because they know that you don't reason beyond, and that's why we are in this election. Tell you that these so-called villagers and with their vote, it matters a lot. I was very impressed with one bishop today who was saying that don't sell your vote for sugar, salt, 1,000. That was very impressive from that bishop. And I wish all people of Uganda could understand that if you have got sugar, drink it. Eat it because they brought it for you, but put your vote at the right place. So lack of national school feeding policy, as we heard my brother Jeffrey Kenya, we told her, we got a policy, we said Uganda should have our children fed. How can a child go to school from 7 a.m. up to 6 p.m. without feeding? I've never seen a way parents going to dig from morning to evening without what? Feeding. We dig after some time, we go home and what? And feed. So these are, so that is about in the sufficient grants. As much as we have, you can get a peak. I think primary they give them what 12,000. Second about 100. I have not got the figure as well, but we have it in our manifesto. We intend to increase those grants. Then school high drop up is so high, very high school drop up, and whatever happens. Now we come to sports and creativity. You people, you know, Achibwe, this Achibwe Stadium is named after one of the late Achibwe, one of the biggest athletes. Now where they said we should support athletics. Every school must have school facilities, not only a playground. It should have even where people, young kids can do tennis, can do other games in the school and whatever. And stadiums can have very easy to build. The Speaker of Parliament has built a huge stadium. If a speaker, an individual can build, what about the government? So that's why we say we're going to invest more money in sports and creativity, and we have, of course, a lot of less infrastructure and low funding in the sports. And we have a lot of youth now. Of course, the ability have become what men and women. If it had been used in sports, would have had a lot of money, and they would have also been failure better to themselves. Of course, that has led to failure to nurture talents. Then we have the health. Of course, health is very interesting. And objective, of course, all of you know objective number 10, medical services. That every Ugandan should be provided free and quality medical services. I was surprised. I was here today. I saw an ambulance, land cruiser ambulance, written on Ogwa, Jura County. When did he become government to provide? These are people who go and get ambulances from government, then start writing on their what? Because it's in fact under normal circumstances, the person to provide medical services is government, unless he's doing it for his own private what? Facility. But you're not saying it, oh, this is for my constituents. We have facilities which must be provided for by government. We want to stop this habit of people using their offices. Some of them even not paying taxes in the name of saying they have got facilities for people in Uganda. So Uganda, everybody should have facilities and alternatives. We want to thank Dr. Milton about when he brought the 21 hospitals. I hope you are aware of them. We have here Kiandongo, Bulibojo, Itojo, Bugiri. I'm giving you a beam. I'm giving you a few of them. They were spaced in the whole country for purposes of providing at that time. What would have occurred is that when, if of 21 hospitals now, which would be now referral hospitals or even the national hospitals, would have now expanded the facility beyond and building small services, because as the population increases, you increase health services, you increase ambulance services, you increase medical staff, you increase, as the medical staff increases, of course, nobody can go to dig when he's sick. Nobody can go to school when he's sick. So when you have a health economy, a health people, you will have a health economy. So that's the investment which should really be looked at in a serious context. So we need to invest a lot in health, and so that we have a health economy. Our plan number 4 is dealing about leadership and governance, and that's what has eroded us people of Uganda. We need to establish inclusive value-based politics. We have to eliminate corruption. You see, corruption is finishing our country. President Museveni has tried to talk about corruption, but he cannot manage it. It's now, in 40 years, he hasn't failed. It's new blood. We want to thank him for what he has done for 40 years, but now it needs new blood to deal with that, because the people who are now doing corruption, and now you can't fight them, because I think they have really controlled him. Then we have Uganda debt burden. We need to empower. You see, you talk about the local government. Local government, that means you should, if you have said you are decentralized, those people should have resources to run their local government. You should not control them at the center. That's why we believe that 60% of our budget is health, and a portion of the health, should be really given to what? At local government, so that the investment is done at local government. Of course, talk about justice system, those are abuses of the justice system, poor quality judgments, armchair investigations. These are things we must be dealt with in our country. Of course, then we need talk about peaceful transition. We need a transition. Whether you want to know what Uganda needs a transition at this current state. Then human rights, we must be real respect to human. Article 29 of our Constitution talks about human rights and how you must respect. People are free to associate. People are free to freedom of speech. You are supposed to do what freedom of movement, but we are not doing it. Everything is being curtailed by a few people, which is not allowed. Of course, then we have to talk about social heritage development, legislation which is poorly processed, and of course, this parish model, we have seen it, is not a good legislation. And that's why we come for us, we believe we're coming with a village model, because you cannot develop a country from the middle, you must start from down. That's why for us in our plan, is that every village will be given 100 million per year. For 5 years, that's 500 million. For purpose to deal with that village. And where every village must have water, clean water. You see, get water is very easy. You can get water from down. Today, I got an old man giving me an idea that you cannot have metallic pipes to pump water. We can have plastic one, which even we don't have to bring that in them. So this is possible, and it can be done to change our country. Then we have interest groups. Of course, interest groups, we talk about the women, the youth, the PWs, the elderly, the pensioners, and veterans. Of course, unfortunately, when we talk about women, we forget the Bible says man, and man means both the woman and women. Of course, for me as a man and other men, they have assumed that we can fight on our own. But the women are a bit weaker sex, we must need support in the form of loans, small loans, and capital grants so that they are able to do business. The youth must be employed, so they also need a clear government policy to handle it, because somebody was telling us that our youth sometimes take marijuana because they have nothing to do. It is true. We don't get them drunk and whatever because they think they want to pass time. And that's why we come up with a deliberate policy for the youth, that for us, we are going to give the youth border as well in the border sector. For example, I will give you an example of a border. The cost of a border, if it reaches Uganda, can't be more than 2.4 million shillings. But because of taxes, the middlemen, the interest, you mentioned it, the border here is sold, I think, at 6 million. And when a border man and boy goes to get it on loan, by the time he finishes paying, he has paid money equal to 4 borders. He cannot even afford to buy a trouser for himself, a shirt for himself, he cannot keep his family. This is just exploitation of the highest order. So that's why we come with a deliberate effort that those who want to live in the border sector business, you'll be given borders for 2 million shillings, and you will pay this over a period of 5 years. That means every year you're going to pay 400,000. This will go a long way to build that part of the economy, create those jobs, so that those people even can now move from border, go and own trucks, go and own minibuses, own shops, own land. And if you own land, you start digging and doing what? So then the developer and the country moves out. So these are the things we are looking at and with seriousness as we love, because this country is ours. Now, clean water is objective number 11, Roman 11. Education is an objective. In the opposition, that's our opposition. Objectives, these are the first principles we must go to. Objective number 18. In Roman 18. Rather, medical service is number 20, clean water is number 21. Now, of course, Roman XX1, XX, and X8. So, I am coming here to tell you that the people of Uganda now in leadership have not led in the right way to make sure that Ugandans can enjoy their country. Because none of us are proud to be born in Uganda. Now, there we come to, of course, equitable development. The law says that you should develop the country equitably. But taking cognizance of those which are less developed, so that they can also be developed faster to become equal to same footing. And now the constitution is not being followed. You get the haphazard development, political development, and yet the country should be developed so that we become a joint country. Now, we are glad to come to town today because of roads. Now, if the roads were good, we are using it for, well, in politics. For us, we're coming using it for politics. There are traders. If we see that road, by the time a farmer moves his goods from that area, maybe to Lira town, the cost of owning road transport is too high. So even if he got 10,000, the transport may be 6,000. So he gets only 4,000. But if the road was good, the transport could be 1,000, so you would get 9,000. So the farmer says, how can I grow food and I get only 4,000? And so it becomes a disadvantage because of the infrastructure. And if the infrastructure is good, people will make money. So for us, we need to develop the infrastructure, and this infrastructure has a lot of corruption. If we come in and deal with it, I can tell you this country will move very fast and Uganda will move very fast. Now, I have talked about costs of those roads. We are going to make roads work because big monies we're going to put in the infrastructure, and these projects are going to be done by Ugandans. 2, the teachers striking. We are saying our teachers should be paid equitable. I am a teacher by profession. Of course, I taught. I did postgraduate diploma in education and after I lectured. A teacher must be well equipped to prepare for a lesson. You must have a mind. If you don't have a mind, you can't prepare. And that's why we're saying, well, their children to go to school for free up to university, they should be accommodated. If you went and asked any teacher now, where is your ATM card? He will tell it with the money what? Money lender. In short, by the end of the month, the man who is the one who goes to draw the money, then maybe brings in 20K. Now, at what time will he have a whole fresh mind to do what we call preparation for class? You know, we have to scheme of work. He said, in the case, they should end up like that. That must be there to me. Article 26, it talks about nobody is supposed to be deprived of property. Nobody should lose anything. Whether cattle, whether land, whether what. Why are people being deprived of their property? We must deal with that. It's a serious issue. We must be given their land or compensated, whether whatever form, so that people can be brought to legal footing, so that they are put in the position they would be if their property was not what? Not lost. Poverty in Uganda is terrible. And you see, I feel bad when I hear that the GDP of Uganda is 6.8%, 7% and whatever. The GDP is growth. Now, the growth is in who? If you came here in Lango and I went and I corrected the paper of Lango and said, show me your growth, you would only show you how much money has borrowed, which is working. If you get his balance sheet, the balance sheet will be like this. He has a house, a small house, but he is living on credit. So he has a debt here. If they came and closed him immediately, he would have nothing. That's why many people have lost property. Now, if majority of the people are living in such a life, who is this growth for? This growth, you will get it, is in the form of people who are stealing every day out in and out. Now, if you are talking of a growth of a road network, now a road network has been, say, 1 kilometer of $3 million, yet it should be $150,000. The growth which you are talking of $3 million is exaggerated by more than 19 times. You understand? So now, who has taken this? Might be a Chinese, might be the one, most I think now the Chinese, who did the road and all the money went to where? To China. Or has stayed here in a few pockets, that in these few pockets where the man has said cannot be seen and cannot be for all of us. So now, this growth which we are talking about is not translating into the people of Uganda. So we need a leadership, we need a country which can make sure that the growth we're talking about, it translates in the people's hands. And that's why we're saying we need to have it thrive, so that we need to fix the economy, and when we fix the economy, so that the locals, the owners of the country are in business, are in the employment sector, are in this construction sector, and when they make the money goes in their pockets, instead of the money moving from their pockets to other people's pockets. Now, when the country makes money, when people have money, for example, I have now money in my pocket. I'll go to the shop, I'll buy 2 kilograms of sugar, I'll buy 2 bars of soap, I'll buy meat, I'll buy beer, I'll buy soda. Now, that's me, my brother, mom is buying whatever. Now, there will be a demand for sugar. There will be a demand for soap. There will be demand for beer. Now, if beer is being grown, the one which is from sorghum, there will be demand for sorghum to produce what? Beer. If there is a demand for sorghum to produce beer, there will be demand for laborers to come and work in farms and will produce what? Sorghum. Sugar canes will be demanded, soap manufacturing will be demanded. Now, that means you're creating jobs, and as the demand for products increases or services, because people have now money, there will be demand for people to work. So jobs will be created and more money will come in people's pocket. And as more money comes in the economy, you have a taxation system. Instead of taxing a few, you will have many people to tax. And when you tax, you don't need a big percentage. I'll give you an example. If you had one person, for example, was getting 1 million, and you're taxing him at 30%, you're getting 300,000. Now you have 2,000 people, 2,000, each also getting 1 million, that would be 2 million. You don't need to tax at 30%. You need tax at say 5%. And 5%, you're getting the same money or even more than what it is.
Because there are many people.
Now you're talking nice. Because there are very many people now, and you get more revenue from many people, but at a smaller rate. And when you do that, you're leaving a lot of money, which you call disposable money, for the people to work. And the economy every day will be growing. You will not get anger on the streets. You get this anger on the street is a result of poverty. You ask somebody, how are you? He wants to beat you. Can you show me? Because his anger is not so sure of the next meal, he's not so sure he's going home and life. Even this policemen, the security, why they are angry? It's not anything. They have left, their salaries are too small, they have no houses, they have families to look after, they are coming to work, they are telling them go and work, they come with already anger because they are already at home having nothing. What we have even in our manifesto for security organization, we are saying we will have improved better salaries, you will have homes to stay in, your children will study for free from primary up to university. This all we're raising is possible in this country. Now what needs new leadership? You need people who know economics. You know people who know financial management. You need people who know integrity. You need people who know accountability. And of course, among the 9 candidates, the 8 candidates you have, I'm the only one who has that. I have worked, I have studied it, I have practiced it, I have advised governments, Kenya, Tanzania, India, Ghana, among others. Others who have given them advice, they have refused. Those which have taken our advice have moved from low income earning to higher income countries. Now, this one I come with experience in that area, and that's why I'm saying, Zaid Museveni, when he went to the bush, he went because he was saying there was insecurity in the country. The issue of insecurity of guns has been solved. Now the biggest insecurity now we have is poverty. And this poverty can be only solved by a person who knows how to deal with the economy and how to deal with life as we know it. My sister, Deborah, I want Doreen.
Unfortunately, Deborah is my follower, so still not bad.
Okay, my sister, Doreen. My daughter also, because I'm sure I'm equal to your father's age. I want to state that it is possible to change this country so that people can be able to live a better life, as we said. We come with experience of cooperatives. I am a chairman of this cooperative union. I got it going. I bought it within 2 years. It was up. Government came, grabbed it again for 5 years. They were named for it, came back. They said the only person who can take in leadership is Nandala. I come back, I organize back the farmers. Right now the farmers are getting 17,800 shillings per kilo. Why? Because of collective bargaining. So what happened to the cotton is because we have Land Cooperative Union, which is their name. I know my brother Akola Maxwell, I think the chairman, but it should go beyond that. Because cotton is white gold. Everybody who is in this room where we are seated or outside there is putting one cloth with what? Cotton. Now they put cotton, then they put some polyester, then they put some. But when you go and get a shirt or a cloth for which they say 100% cotton, the price is 10, 20 times. Why? Because cotton is the most expensive item. Why are we not growing it? It's because people have decided to kill the sector and they transfer this business to other countries. Now, I would suggest that if people learn that cotton has money, you need a leader who will come back and give you money in the cotton, and the leader spinning mill should work. If you have ever seen the power line, Dr. Milton Obote never made a mistake to have a dedicated line from Ginger or power up to where they are spinning mill. He knew he needed the power 24 hours to gin our cotton so that we were able to transform it and make money. That's why we had African textile mill, we had Nigel textile mill, and these are possible that we can bring them. We had a cooperative bank. It was taken. Now a cooperative bank is needed for cooperatives. That's why we're saying I come with experience to revive cooperative unions, invite all the cooperatives from down going up, so that farmers who produce can have their products go through cooperatives and are marketed. And the government would be the lead marketing manager for people or for the farmers. Why? Because it has capacity to create silos so that when there is excess, they put for them in silos and they issue what we call warehouse receipts. So warehouse receipt means I can go to the bank and use the receipt and I get money because it will have money. Warehouse receipt, and also we are going to do what we call value addition. And the cooperatives will be the basis to move our farmers. So when they need their money, we'll go to the cooperative bank. For those who are in the agriculture sector, we are going to establish an agriculture bank so that farmers go there and get credit, which credit will be at no interest because you're borrowing money where you're going to produce for the country, food, cash crops. Now, when you give that money, you must also insure that's insurance, so that the farmer, if at all the weather is bad and whatever happens that he or she doesn't have our product out, the insurance company will come and compensate the farmer. So the farmer will be comfortable to go and work every morning knowing he's going to make money. In case the weather is bad, the insurance company will pay. And that needs the government to lead that process. And this will be done, and the people of Uganda will have what we call dignity, and they will live better lives we are talking about. I want to state without contradiction that this country is endowed. It's well endowed. It has the weather, the rain throughout the year, it has sunshine throughout the year, and we can grow anything in this country. But also God loved Uganda, that every area, it gave it different facilities where they can go get what earn income. I'll give you an example. I come from Mount Elgon. God gave us bamboo, where we get what we call malewa, but also gave us volcanic soils, where we grow coffee. Now our coffee is called just Arabic coffee. That's why we make money. Now some even they gave you land for cotton. Some they gave you, God gave them water for fish. That's why we're talking about fish. If you read about fish, that fish must be managed by people which we call fish management committees, by the locals, not the army. It's very unfortunate when I will come, you get an army manning the fishing sector. They are supposed to man the security, not the fishing sector. In fact, the locals should be able to go and fish, get fish, eat some, and make money. So, for example, for us in the Buddhist, we don't have fish, but we have coffee. You bring your fish, you sell it in Bali, you come back with coffee to drink. And that's the way we consider that the country needs the united unity we are talking about, so that you can go to Bali, you go to where you are called, and you are treated as a brother and a sister. We need a united country. So these are things which can be done, and our country can be able to work together. I went to school many years ago. Some people mistake me that maybe I'm 16 years of age, but God has just kept me. I want to give you what happened to our school days. When we were in school, the UPC government will try to identify bright boys and bright girls. And the purpose why they were identifying them, some of them they were training them, for example, to be maybe in the intelligence system, in high places in government and whatever. I was lucky. I was one of those who was identified during that time. And that's how my brother was talking about. At that time, we know they would come to our schools. They would say, for you, you will go and stay in such a way with such a person. I had a chance to stay with Mateke, who was the minister by then for education. Then also I stayed, that's why the training knew me. And that's how they were training us to be leaders for tomorrow. So I started in Wheeling. That's how they did. I was not the only one who would get at that home. You would get a boy from maybe Kisobe, you will get another one from Vura. That's how that's why I know many people in this country, because those are our time and what to do. They were doing it to make what you call a united country. When you're with your brother from Vura, you know the other people from there. And for us, there was not zero grazing. I came from Gisu, I went to Soka College, Mary. The law was very clear at that time, that a local school, say, let us take Boroboro here, you will not admit more than 20%, the local ones. The local ones mean those who speak that language, that is Belanese. The 80% should come from the other parts of what? The country. 20%, then you go to Normali, 20% Bagisu, maximum. The remaining should come from the other country. You go to Busoga, 20% of Busoga, the remaining should come from the other part. So they were building a united patriotic country, whereby everybody loved each other. And when you're going to share a room, a bed, like on your deckers, you never, if you're Bantu speaking, you should not share with the Bantu speaking. You should share with the Nilotic, so that we live, that's how we live and live. And that's what is missing now. And that's what we want to bring back in our country. Now, why again I talk about that? For us, we had been also at that time, when we had finished senior 6, I finished senior 6 in March. By that time, we used to do senior 6 in March. In 1985, of course, short to the guy, but unfortunately, not to go to train, that I'm going forever. You will go there for a short time, 3 months. Then when the time of the university, you come back, you study, then again after getting another one, you go there. But it was purposely for also exposing us to another. I wanted to talk about my brother Ken. You have heard I was brought up in a UPC family. My mother and father are congressmen. My uncle was a member of parliament for UPC. I think my father was the chairman of a branch. You know those are branches. So parties were destroyed. At that time there were 2 parties, UPC and what? And DP, basically. Of course, Kabaka, you can't know it in, but I don't think it was there. It came to CP, I think. Then UPM came in, but we were Congress people. So I grew up in a Congress family. Unfortunately, when they killed, they stopped the parties, they were reinstated. I was among those who were fighting for my party to be there. At the time of the late CCO Ground, the late Ekula. And it came in 2004. And that time, that's when this Forum for Democratic Change was formed. Of course, I'd been a treasurer for UPC, the parliamentary caucus. Our chairman was the late Dr. Maning. I don't know if you heard about Dr. Maning. We ventured across to NRM and unfortunately he died later on. And why he died at a health center 3, 4, because they could not treat him, they had no medicine. It was the minister for what? Health. So health should be for everybody, not that it should be for a few. So, unfortunately, we could not have access to a few things in Uganda. When Forum for Democratic was being formed, we became founders. But I think at the end of the day, we are going to converge. We're going to go back to our regional parties. And of course, my original party will be Congress. Now, my brother Kena could not be nominated, which is very unfortunate. By the regime, I think, because if the regime had no interest, he would have been nominated. So now, I want to tell you about UPC. UPC was born in Bali. Whoever knows UPC was born in Bali. the first delegates conference which we elected President Dr. Milton Obote president was in Bali. So UPC, the bedrock of UPC is Bali. It came, of course, the first leader came from Lango. So Lango and Bugisu are two common in UPC matters. So the bedrock of UPC is Bali. That's why when Dr. Obote died, of course, the people never wanted him to go through the railroad. They wanted to lift him. We said no, he should go by what? By road. And we said he should use the eastern route because that's his road. And when he reached Mbale, he had to stay overnight. So there was only, he stayed in Kampala, he slept in Mbale, he of course came to Soroti shortly, then he came here until he reached here. So his second home was what? Mbale. So we come here to say the Congress people were part of you, we need your support as Congressmen. If we have son, Akena cannot get an opportunity, you have a second son here, Nandala Mafabi, who is your own, who believes in what he knows, who knows your problems better than any other person. I've translated, I know Lango very well, that's why I was on the road. I know those roads so bad there, how your life is bad, and I'm the one who can be there for you. I went to Busoga College immediately. Dr. Milton Obote went to Busoga College, so I followed in his footsteps. I was the first leader of opposition. I was also a leader of what? Opposition. So the characteristics, that's why I was saying, maybe the bald hair and whatever, resembles Lango. So I am yours. I ask you kindly to support me in good faith, and whatever you want, you can be there for you. I want to state that I come here to serve this country as a servant. And I can tell you, me and my team here, who have introduced themselves and some who have not had an opportunity to be here, but they are holding the key, are coming here to make sure they are servants of your country and the people you can rely on. And I can assure you, we are going to make a big, big difference in this country. We want to make sure we fix our economy and have money in our pockets.
Okay.
Another guy, summarize what
Thank you very much, Mr. President. If you've just tuned your radio, this is 94.3 QFM. In the studio of QFM, we have Right Honorable James Nathan Nandala Mafabi, the FDC presidential candidate for the 2026 general election. In the studio, we also have Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya, the FDC Treasurer General and the MP for Tororo County North. We also have Honorable Sentinel Robert, FDC Deputy National Chairperson, who comes from Kasese, if I'm right, yes. And then we also have Honorable Jonathan Ebwalo, the MP for Soroti City West. And then we have Arjuna Joseph, a National Mobilizer Forum for Democratic Change, and of course Lango Regional Leaders and Forum for Democratic Change. We've just heard from Mr. President. Before we go for a brief translation, the President hinted on so many areas, but I have one question in line of the youth, women, and governance participation. How will your administration create meaningful opportunities for youth and women in leadership and entrepreneurship? That's my question. I prioritize upholding women's leadership and so on, as far as youth as well. So maybe it is important for you to share how your administration would see to it that we have meaningful opportunities for the women and youth. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, my daughter. For us women and the youth, that's why we have a special interest. I have seen under pillar number 5, women and the youth to leadership. You see, I've given you an example how we're being trained to be leaders. Yeah? I will be one of those who will ensure that there's a mentoring of the youth to become leaders. But of course, our youth are not to be leaders. They will be leaders from now. They are doing business. leadership in business and how they can do it is the best way to be trained mentally to do it better, because they must be one eye to do the following. Anything we do, we must be accountable, we must be transparent, we must meet with the integrity, and if you are going to be accountable, you will be a very good leader. That's why I'm saying we are going to handle the women. Now, even the women that we're talking of leadership, they need money also. Now, most of our mothers are doing small businesses. That's the women. Of course, when I'm meaning your mother, I'm not meaning even you. You are my mother. So these mothers are doing small businesses. What do they need? They need to be empowered to have enough capital to be able to move from one small businesses and go up. Now this is how it will be deliberate effort by our government to ensure that women and the youth are given money to do business. And this money which will give you to do business will be used in such a way that you will not be allowed, you will not be taxed at lower level. You will only be taxed when you have grown high. You understand? There are those exemption stages and whatever. We give foreigners exemptions and forget locals. But the locals which should have maximum impact of the exemption and taxation should be the lower level. That's why you will have credit and ensure that you don't pay taxes at lower levels. Now, as you grow, of course, when you have resources, you will be able to be also competing with the leadership role. Now, the leadership role, the people assume only that is being political. Even in your group or where you are, you need to be a leader. We don't only look at politics, but even at home, you need to be a leader. Now, if women are well empowered, they are the best leaders to have. I have done experience personally as a chairman of this cooperative union. When I came in, the women were not allowed to get any money from the primary sector. You know, when we take our coffee, you measure. Now the woman, the fathers would go and pick all the money. The women were just like laborers. And the witch laborers were not there. I came in and said, no, we're going to give women 10% of our money. So women started getting 10% the first time. But it was an annoying thing to the men. But when the women would get the money, she would tie the money on the gomas, run home. The first thing she would do, she would buy exercise books for her child. And those children are for that same man who doesn't want her to what? To go to get money. Then they will make sure that the child he goes to school. If there is some school dues, they will pay. Now, some of them, of course, if they are good money, they would buy a bag of cement and try to make the sitting room with some. They would collect sand from the road and make their sitting room with what? Cement instead of using cow dung. The same man who never wanted it, when he comes and says, hey, this. So many themselves came to me in the AGM and said, no, we have changed. The percentage should go to 30% because they saw the benefits the women were doing. And the way the women were starting to have money, they would now have power to speak. They now started joining leadership roles at their communities, and the men started voting them. I can tell you there are some who are LC1 chairs now because they started having what? Capacity now. They were being looked after. Instead of sitting here with one gomas, she had enough gomases. She walked comfortable. You know, when you have money, you walk smartly. But when you don't have money, you walk, you're not confident. That's why we're saying let us fix the economy and the people have money. So women now have taken on roles. Now, of course, there's this affirmative action that women will have the woman MP, they will have their council and whatever. We are going even further. Now, if you see our document, we're saying if we get power, we need every district to be represented with 2 MPs. Because we also want to cut on cost, public administration. Now, we also want to save the 10 trillion. Of course, when I talk about where shall we get the money, we already have saved 10 trillion from corruption. Then we shall invest in productive sectors. We shall get money. Now, the taxation will be too big that even our debt service, we shall clear our debts. In fact, I can tell you we are determined to clear this external debt and the internal debt within a short time. Because what will happen is that we should do a deliberate effort to save people. By then there is a lot of local debts. When you read the newspapers, when you see the advertising, a house being sold, land being sold, those are people who have gone to banks, borrow money to supply government, and the government is not what? Paying them. And those are people we should deal with. So what we're saying is that when we do that, we will have one affirmative for women, then the one which will be competed between men and women. So where men are not very strong, women will think so. You'll find that one music has more than 12 people, both what? Women. Because they have their own affirmative what? Action. So we want women to come out, be very strong, and we are determined to do it. That applies to the youth. Our youth must be strong. I want to tell you that when we get in power, the youth are priority number one. These are energetic, have brains, and they want to put this energy they have to that product so that they are not playing cards, they are not smoking jaga. You see, music is good. Me, I like people dancing. I also like going to dance. But you must dance when you have what? Money. You don't dance for the sake of it, jumping in the air, but at the end of the day you have nothing to go and eat at home.
And a frustrated person.
Exactly, now you're talking. We're going to remove frustration in Uganda. That's what we're determined to do. So we're focused on the youth and the women. Read our manifesto, you will see it. And also read our constitution, you see what we need for women. The FDC constitution is clear about to deal with what? Women. And that's our mission, to have a dignified citizens, not beggars. Whenever you go and get somebody, you see, I hate somebody saying Ugandans being reduced to being what? Beggars. Ugandans should walk with their heads what? High, because this country belongs to them. Nobody applied to go to the world here, so we should enjoy our country. And that's why we are all here saying we need a dignified country for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We're going for
so
a short
have you got what I mean?
Yes, I did. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll do a brief translation before we give you time to call and ask those questions you could be having, and of course read a few of your messages. Keep them coming. We'll give you time also to speak to us. Keep it killed.
Mayor. Lord Mayor.
I'm just saying.
Find it at your favorite hangout or supermarket. Go zesty with Bell Citrus. Excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to you. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years. Please drink responsibly. Hey, yeah. It's a celebration of individuality and the beauty of diversity. Smile is for those who break the mold. We are talking no filters, no faking it, fitting in used to be in. Now it's time to stand out. So grab a smile, ditch the mood, and just be yourself. Everything starts when you do you. Smile, we do we. Alcohol is not for sale to the person under the age of 18. Excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health. Please, drink responsibly.
My name is Lira. I am the education officer here at the Gasoline Lira District Local Government. Investing in children's education is a successful investment for the future. Enroll your child back
Mr. President, you spoke and I couldn't ask my questions. Because you answered them all. That's true. I had so many questions here. So you answered them all and I didn't have what to ask.
He's there for you now. He's there for your people.
Hey, you had prepared so many questions. You've seen, you were seeing. I had questions on agriculture, cooperative, governance and leadership. You were just, so I couldn't ask all my own questions. Otherwise, we are getting back on here.
Now, what time are you going to take some callers?
Yes.
And we are ending at 11, right?
Yes.
Now, we have 15 minutes.
Right, kwaya teka win radio gogo hewe check da ke hapar we beach el mero chawa beach utieno meni na tinini kapuri ya radio ni ya ba tie karachel kire chimu pibedo a president mero Uganda ite party me forum for democratic change man right honorable James Nathan Nandala Mafabi ametie studio me QFM utiena tinini karachel kire utela Roma Popati ite party me FDC akere hotela ite party man ametie yilankan ubino be mali malo tutwal ijebe moga me pigi tego kitame Mr. President ubino kere lankan wando pe ugonyo pero donye one word type points amepigi tego penko amepigi tego amemiyo yin atedero amemiyo yin ilang iwinyite koni ni no how to no mira wara gwet queer about Nandala Mafabi piano mwaeno kogo mwokao yire anucha obuchunyi dengeni ena ye aloki pore pichalo lobi Uganda mwona yoberu kulijame amewan hubinugonyo tinini aboma lochawa wedado kuworo kwa ye yore
Apoyo tuwala mina Doreen Pio ilamia wa opportunity na kwanza ni lao ate kukera penye na Doreen ni ado president na kama na mfano program ngao meitie kile kumon karacho kile president ogamo meko bone gina pia tek na tebo ngero ubere meme yuto bubu mecha to pero me to bubu amio to chupi ke ende ko bone gamente me FDC kere jama mwana ke penga cha FDC na chielo benane ginoro long amemite ubere meme yimon chente ameno miogi chen gamene mimi chente mona charawa mona tido yo me chen no kon me dong en kada ko tie cha to dong be tie me ario to me yapo ni en karame be igamo tera me Bukisu Cooperative Union. And no Jordan, Paye, the Mon, what gum chente, milk and Mon car and a bull. I eat a bull of go yearly with gum chente and a coffee. Can I never chairman make Bukisu Cooperative Union? A time you get the channel cheap, the Mon milk gum percent. Apa, me chente me, Pachachera Cherapur. Carame Mono gum chente. You know what I can in the book. No doubt that the change will book. They don't tell like in there. Child of doctor, you would have a child book. Doctor Moon of work, I can. But you are a king of all kitchen. Child, every young more got a cow, you get to know it more. But you can kill your bear. A man of child, every book will come in. Ah, more lucky take it. I don't mean your money child in the physical union. You're a guy poor. More in Turi. Percent per deck when you only put it to job. The mayor of Godmon. I don't think money to Bishop Cooperative Union. No, I don't get him of Godmon, Uganda. Mancho, you mean I don't want to make a town and pay the protective, the dog of terror, than the Bishop Cooperative Union. Very Bulu came for COVID. Nay, Buliwa, Yagamu, Pig, well, attack, Endo FDC, the bear American President of Uganda. Every Buliwa. I'm a tear tipping butcher, or may you give piggy. You wear my millionary. I'm a miniature of Mahadi, a beach. Yen piggy, get a day worry on me off, get a man of piggy or Uganda. Pecaro millionary, when you read we each and come in looking more, you know me, you call you can bully. You read bullet chair, miniature, lamb when in Mahadi, a chair. Kanya, and more big, whatever millionary. And you all look over Lord, move in a government of Pokemon. You didn't need a chair. Dan Bula Chirachino Teco, Jim to me a deity, a chair. Man, you look what bully. Maybe you bully what you will get a chair to the chowgi, Tayan on a border, talk with the lorry, take it to Woody, a culture of any school. What about a gender man take a chair people? And Koboni, and take a program beyond over. Tell me a poor. Ni chawa ni bero chairman me Bukishu Cooperative Union. Moi, chawa ni bota purdu ameti ada Bukishu Cooperative Union. Yete Bukishu Cooperative Union. Yotia wilo moya chela moi kila chel tutumia para beo ilia bon. So nyurni lawyer menti community okay la chawa president FDC. Bero gina pendo mien bore. Achala katukwana komi komdo ngol go kilijamo kenani. And we making sure they go in to me tell me a beer, kind of child point to kill kilometer, no ticket chili. Dr. Chilabir take a child at a meal of law, and every day kill of dog logo, make a compool. Any loud can, every day cooperative union would walk. In a speeding mill, I never heard about a lecture, would walk. Get Pama, Boma will go one in Yai Pama. That bomb, I don't know you can Pama. And I'm willing to take a law. Lobo for low, Barbo, you can look at it. The end America will compose, get me, a very good cooperative union. May we cow poor champion. Give people who come to change the bar. Cooperative union, America, when you go back, get a bang of pool. You don't go. America is a ticket for me, I may pool. You know what I got to change the Kunu. I may know Jara, well, I'm a jacket to the attention. Betty, do you come to Naja? Ega do go be na malo ni sure. Yo amelo ko bi ko nen no ni gina yi pucha. Gina yo neno be me ka cha mo chiro ne bo jemi cha. Ban pe pe che no bo pe mo ja malo ni sure cha. Do ma biru ni plan ne re chalo president yo pu di mala me betwa ya. Gina chela me ero ko ri e bi ko party bank. So nyuruni Mara will jump me, I may pick it take up at where the cook will be. And over Guru, nay, pen ship me Uganda. Commonly 12. Can jump when you have me Uganda, but when I may Uganda. Mono pen chip, I can't carry away the chair. I may call it German to me Uganda. But a man, Valley Mary, we are able to take a minute of Papa Valley American Germany. So, you're when you attack a local company. Ukoboni kaimi ya mtu ya mbele president wa Uganda. Kwa papa hako kumponyere. Ene bilo na chukule longi Uganda. Utini ye ukwana rom cholo poye ko biru ye mi mor mi biru science mor mi biru SST ende mi yapor nika appointment lemo ena me poye puchura me ko ni achiel ke me ke achiel ni 1 + 1 is equal to 2 munu lemo mero mo ibota poye ai de ko ni apoye lemo do mi me chura do ye ba nyur ni nu ko be ko cha ko ko mo ateni the mente me FDC amene be president eni yule ni Uganda ko be na bishop do ene biru wa mero ni utiro poye me achiel ke chukule gamente me Uganda ni be chukula gamente utiro poye biru kwan me noro ame ni wori ba poye kuri ngene atini te kwan me noro ta ki primary na university any primary be ma gamente university be ma gamente secondary school be ma gamente no ami utiro poye pero ko kwan me noro me we chino no no mi do high school me we kado apoye wori poye kero chala no no amenu kera romi mi apoye me chunyo timo ero mi apoye ko ni wori poye apoye wa kipucha ni apoye ko mi ye tiem kadi wori gina mo ra ke kora be ga pichele ke in wori ki kado pe dido bojo ame manelenda obero jo ame mi ole na dena kimpe donc daro je na me woro panye chena poye to me ya poye do mi abitu do emo me ko jemicha mi apoye cha ko ndo mo do ma do ko karge do ka wor me be bu where do good bojo do ye na do karge na wiye pedati mo petiati because jemi me lu shidong ti ko man lenda donc ti chera ta ka chalo president me Uganda ubero me lo ai me ni poye ubero kara chel kede opportunity jo aroro da ko ni ko mi ko mi yo ko na beauty mere kita me ko ke me po yo na choro jo bi jo aroro apira te kena ni yen dala tara mo ber ba me lira mo ber ba wo kedala tara me no o ge gara ba borwani bera ni lo ko bi ko yen uberi ye me we ka jo wor jo mu gina mero jo timo no bende sai ka bere mo ga me karagamente me wor teacher ubero ge gara bara kiriando ngi borwa ka no gara na hage le gara bara ko ki tunchani dala tara me dala chen pire wa chen cha bero dala tara me ri da ku lere mo pa kare ko be di wel jo me de yurni kita da mi be tiyo mi dala tara pon mi service kila le ga na chongera timo ni yo kara chen kere do manu be je mo ko chego ame era vero compire ende wori come con yo ma be ni da wala mi wu in summary ero ko ni chende me Uganda ono parti ti donga me pelare endo dunga chende cha jotimo yo pala yen kai neno ero mi apor kam ni kilomita achiel meyo ka ko be dola ni mi chende perbi kai dugi chende me Uganda bero milion mia bi piera mano eno kai ni woro itawa ni wenda mo keriero okero billion ya para chele yo achele eno ku chende yurni chende me kwala bero chop pasena para bonga dunga chende woro ko ipuo dai nuri cha me biru ti yo ene bero ja mo kereo China kwele ki ku wakini wa check pa ni yasa kai mi unu toero otino wa na biru ti yo bien ijelo me jo ti ukere kai woro ma ti borwa Uganda kana semen ti borwa Uganda kana gina mo ti ukere lera na mo ti ukere okyoda na Uganda kana now leba unyo ti jada ti yo na Afrika ma Uganda do ele penyu wi ngami o wel jeme cha bera mo bera te ka paka kere lori kere dawa mo na me ti ukere ni me bera ti chole yori ena mo kere yo dawo choro bero chanali bero peye do mo mi wel yo wa welere woro maro yurni ko me do ka ngete kiri jo mora me kwa chinde cha ena me balo chin jami cha ko chinde cha do ka pere ko ngala me Uganda do ele weni prami wo me li maro do pe ping be won wori yo ko amesho mon nundu shibere jami ame president obero kombe electoral me ponyere atawe da do yes do me ni ka wori me akike mere ame pila electoral ame ko wa ya kina hen achala Nandala Mafabi kala chel kilo minere Jimmy James mai kwa kera eno ko boni ti kwa yo ame party me UPC kala chel kilo party su kena me mi yego kui yen ya kina jo ame otiu attack ipate me UPC megera ene ti akina ngata woro lengo bora na Zambia telo karachi kele ya kina member ero no ti pala ene ti akina jo ama obiro lo batele pala amerika no bora ko me tu me ko ni wan ko to ye ni ngata mo tele Uganda cha president na ko me ye le do mo ame ko do Uganda eno mi ka lero bora do Uganda kana me upore ni lero binu ye ni be ye kado kero binu ko me man churi geo endo lero bora binu be mbale te puru mbale ni ya taba teno ya kunu soro ke no chuo ye de be aba te bi lo kwa la so nyuri tumu bora kere ti kwere ti mbale donc wari akina UPC kere o gishu ti kara chel pie chora duom ama obiru yere yo borre me ma ko bendera me UPC me wo chu me be president me Uganda obiru be lo mbale yo do me Uganda re ko ni dar me mira yera auto biru yere kumba bayere no ngane o borre ya ikwere la eno kindu shubinu chwa kara chel do man yo re kwa me kido akera penchu ere kwa yo do shume UPC keda patu kene chama me yekwira cha tengi ndio kene be president me Uganda kile jama ene chama we kila la Uganda endo ke community ya kile titi Uganda kile tiyo bela me parliament mwana pia leo yepi tiyo da ngacharo leader ko poishi kwa kwa na chupa mwe abeti busoga kanda medalu ngeto lo boda timwa ukwaniye ngeto lo boda bibero leader ko poishi the parliament ena le bero leader ko poishi no parliament endo lo kai bero president do yorne energy lo ko myo bore yore kino ko kimo energy do ikwa yoni mi munu ka kui never be president me Uganda dalo mo miemanu enu timera ne do Uganda kita bero beke manunu iwe gina mata wani akwany we makobu amobere pon me ko pamera bero Uganda
akoye ritual we hakobi ni gonya baya chawa watia meotimu ko but peo ya ikana mepeo gamu chim kamen wote ya yoho lain chim watie tuoro not abiro abichel abongwen angwen adek abongwen angwen adek kunyo not ario not abongwen not abongwen angwen adek 0776943943 Beragonya melok ile pashu beragonya melok ile blau and then kada ramolo ile mono ngoda ndo hikonya wa eto kayinda beramolo ile mono beragonya melok ile blau iyo ni time check atedo gama penya ria dek e kautedo lokoti na tinini
The time check on 94.3 QFM is brought to you by KCB Bank. It is 11 p.m.
The star aliyoa mwene mwen bash meyapo account no account me KCB daki hamaru piken ichawa maru piken na mikano piken KCB Bank ya neno be Bank of Uganda customer deposits ya kwa deposit protection fund me Uganda amena wana hamiliona pa KCB Bank pijo bibe
Kwaya Teka Win Radio, Hamed Bogo, Hiwedi Check, and number Tim Waditoro, not a Vera Beatle, Abongwen Angwen Adek, Abongwen Angwen Adek 0776943 943 or 0200900943. Feel free to call and speak in the local language. We'll be able to translate to Mr. President, who is still in the studio of QFM. Hello. Hello, Kerenga go Chimikwene. Joy and Wetangwe. But you work on radio nipping. Yes.
I'm not feeling the president.
What are you?
Yeah, nah. Then I've been seeing the president. When you will become true. And I said, what control, one control, and political control.
Where do you win it?
What do
you win it?
The man can never expect and continue.
Okay.
Yeah, the one is like a political control.
No quiet.
Okay, quiet.
Hello? QFM? Yes, QQ. Muzeme anan? Yes. Okay. Ero yina recha when you ready you let back and go pay. Okay. QFM. Yes, radio here. Ronald, first stay away from your radio, please. Yes, Ronald. Where are you calling from, Ronald? I'm calling from Okay. Okay, please, proceed. Okay. Yo Yelao. Okay. QFM. Hello. Hello. Yes, QFM. Teddy. You want to be paying attention? Okay. Acquire. Acquire. QFM. Yes, radio. Yes, can. Okay. Acquire. QFM. Hello. Radio Q. Hello? Yes. Now I am. Yes. Yes, Muzee David. Okay. 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 Chimario Magiki. Okay, David. QFM. Yes. You better down na Mario Magiki. Go look at Lokipete Winyereba Network. QFM. Hello? Yes, Radio Q. Alex Ayabe Town Council. What are you?
Adam kind of the government school. You want to what happens in the at the moment we have government.
Okay. One last lucky caller. Hello? Yes, QFM. Francis Medo, hello. Yes, Francis.
Makua. Makua.
What are you? Yes, Francis. Yes. Right away, Radio Mono Karachi Meagigi, his concern was still on the bad roads. I think most of the calls were just appreciations and also a concern of roads. Time is now not on our side, so we should also be winding up. I have two more questions for Mr. President, and I'm very sure this will be the last questions coming from me. People of Lango always want to know what somebody will do for them specifically. I am very sure if we had more time, apart from the appreciations, people would not really be asking you much questions, but rather requesting you to do for them something. So my question is, what is your long-term vision for Lango sub-region? And then, why should the people of Lango trust you and Forum for Democratic Change leadership now? And what guarantees can you give that our aspirations will not be forgotten after the elections? Those are two questions from me. Thank you very much. Wadami Chawa, Mr. President, ame adoke ya page kedong akopere me agiki eka hote haduogo ati kwa poje ducha meogoji apoje ducha ameomio poje aduomo meo kapoje apenyo belape apatka kere concern mekope yo amedan men adom president uloho koye ento hobinoto mokado mkodoro apoje matek kado mpeaga mchimi monodushukisha kiken. Right, back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who called, because it shows people are awake listening to us. We don't take it for granted. We must thank you so much for listening to us.
And people call from different districts in Lango, like Oyam, Dokolo, Ayabi is in a patch of Pania. Somebody called from Pania and Lira, and other districts as well. So you are speaking to the people of Lango, as we said earlier on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful. And I listen, just don't take it for granted. I will look forward to interact with you more. I still have my team on the ground, the Brian, the Nicholas, the Isaac, my mayor, whatever. They will be always interacting and they will come and interpret, because they are very rapid people and I trust them to do everything. And also I want to thank for the appreciation because it's very important that you get the feedback. And when you get such a feedback, people are appreciating a manifesto, document, and it is the best and we are grateful. I want to state to people of Uganda and other people listening to us, a manifesto is very good manifesto. And I want to tell you that now everybody wants to, they are trying to copy. Let me give an example. In 2006, when we wrote our manifesto, we said we're going to put the elders. We put some money in the elders for people who are above 60 years, 65. Unfortunately, we were not given power. When the NRM took the power, President Museveni said they will pay them also. But he had just the age to 80. How many people are 80? We are saying no, that's not because everybody has worked. Civil servants have worked, they are being paid a pension. Even some of them never worked, they were just sitting in offices, but they have reached retirement age. They have even some of them stolen us, but they are being paid what? A pension. What about this old man, old woman, now who is 65 years of age, who worked for Uganda by producing food, by producing cotton, by producing coffee? What are the benefits? That's why our manifesto says the elderly people who make 65 years of age. If you're not on public service pension, you will be on the elderly pension and you'll be paid 60,000 shillings per month. The youth living in university, we have said the youth need some support as soon as they finish university. We have said they will be paid 1 million shillings if they get as they're going. I've heard the President is also saying he's now establishing the youth fund for Rwanda who have taken 2 years without jobs. In 40 years, they never knew they were youth, we are not getting jobs. The PDM, we are saying, for us, we said 100 million per village. Now they are saying they are going to triple. But for us, we even want to go further, telling them, those who got per PDM money, it is going to be, it's your bonus, because some of you got 600, some of you got 700, even some got 500 because of corruption. And this is corruption they have done. Now, for 40 years, we have just got 500, 1 million, half a million. Yes, also have it as bonus, enjoy your money which is going to come to serve you 100 million per village. My sister Joy talked about 90. 90 where people were paid, and if they were not paid again, that's corruption. These are things where we're saying nobody should be deprived of his property. If I have earned my pension, my gratuity, my terminal benefit, if we have done a retrenchment, and so even when people are retrenched, we're paid. I want to tell you that we are going to assuring you, your dad, or if you have left the world, whoever will be the one of the estates will be compensated amicably and compensated handsomely. Why? If you are supposed to get, give an example, you're supposed to get 10 million. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you will be compensated 10 million plus interest, plus damages, even what we call time value of money. Those who know time value of money will understand what I'm saying. And so that you are put in the position you will be now, and far better than if you have got your money. Even civil servants will be paid well. Then will demand service delivery. This time we're going to bring what we call time sheets. If you're civil servant, you have been given work and you don't work, you have been paid well, you'll be given time sheet to handle. Now time sheet, this is how it operates. If you come in an office at 8, between 8 and 9, what did you do? 9 to 10, so time sheet we shall do on 1 hour basis. So by the end of the day, we must understand how much service you have done. If you are an extension worker, you should be able to work. Right now, civil servants are waiting for quarterly release. You know quarterly release? Money comes every quarter. After the quarterly release is coming, they share, no work, nothing. That's why there's poor service delivery. I want to assure you that will be history in our government. If you're a doctor, you must work. If you're a nurse, you must work. If you're a teacher, you must teach. Because you will be paid well. You will be paid very well. And I want to assure you that you will be paid for 13 months. Why? Already, you see, if you have seen organizations and whatever, when you are paying, there is already 1 month which takes care of those disadvantaged periods. Like maybe public holidays, maybe they have been sick a bit, or been so every person will be paid 13 months. The 13 months is to take care of your Christmas, holidays, to take your Eid days. Those are the things I'm talking about. It is in our documents. Domestic violence, domestic violence by the way is going to go away. Most of the domestic violence is coming because of poverty. The father is at home, the mother is coming, give me money for soap, give me money for food. The old man, the father is angry, whenever he sees his wife coming, he thinks he's coming to ask for money, even when he's calling him, come and eat food. He said, you, because of poverty. So these are going to be history. Now also the domestic violence is two-way. Now when also the old man asks you, the dad at home, that give us money for food, you don't give, the mother will get angry. But if money is around, there will be no more domestic violence. I can assure you, money is going to be there and there will be no domestic violence in homes. If it's there, it will be minimum. Roads, that's really the plan. I want you to look at our next in our manifesto. I'll give you an example. You know Nakasongoro Road, up to the ferry, then you cross the ferry in the Masali, up to the Koro Ochero Road, all that are in the local Ochero, they're all in our manifesto. If a ferry is like a road, that means you don't have to wait for 2 hours that it has gone, then it comes. No, it's a road. As this one is going, another one is coming, another one is waiting to go. A ferry is a road. You will cross on the water with minimum interference. And the infrastructure of roads is a priority. Do you know why it is in an manifesto? If a road is good, a man who produces food, a woman who produces food, or anybody who wants to transport to anywhere, it will be cheap so that you get maximum benefit. You know what we call a farm gate price. Farm gate price takes into consideration how much will I transport from the farm gate to the market. If the transport is high, then the farm gate price will be reduced. If the transport is lower, the farm gate will be high. Now this is what we're demonstrating. Assuming the customer I'm taking is 10,000, but if transport is 6,000, I'll get 4,000. But if the transport is 1,000, I'll get 9,000. And the transport can only be 1,000 if the road is what? Good. The means of transport is good. This one I can tell you, infrastructure is a serious issue on it. When they asked Gandhi, what do you want India to have? Give it 3 things. He said, education, education, education. When they asked this chairman Mao, what would be for China? He said, if you want a forest, plant trees. If you want a nation to develop, educate the population. So again, when I come to education, it's one of the things we need for our country. If you ask me, if we want our country, Uganda, to be a real country, we must invest in education. We must invest in leadership. Now, Ronald is up with me, as he said, in 25 years, yes, I've worked to be elected 5 times. If I went back to stand in the Uganda West now, I was going to go and oppose it. That shows I have been a worker which everybody loves. Because I am only the servant that produces results. Now, give me an opportunity for a country. You know, if I give you a chicken, you rear, and it produces, you get a goat. And if you get the goat, it produces. Now you need a cow. So I need a cow to rear so that I can produce more milk, more calves, more bulls, more, so that the country is in a better position. That's what we're applying for. James, thank you very much. The manifesto, yes, the manifesto is very clear, and I can tell you that's why we're asking for the vote. And you see, why this manifesto will need ourselves to implement it. I come with the knowledge in economics, like I told you. I come with experience in that field. I come in the knowledge of accountability. You know, I've seen me. I got somebody at the market. I don't know what market, when we left the market, we went before. I think it's not okay. With that market. One man came and said, oh, Nandala, I've been watching your TV and I've seen you live. And he said, you held the people who stole a man accountable. And I was very excited. He came and even worked at me. So he said, I'm happy that people have seen you. In fact, I have been there. And that's why I'm asking my question, myself a question. Why should President Museveni print posters, put billboards, when he has been around for what? 40 years? There must be a problem in this country. Because that's the money we'll be putting in hospital, putting in roads, instead of putting what? Billboards. for me, I know soon, if you give me an opportunity, I'm not going to post, but here I am to work. Now, no jobs, yes, my brother called from Kwan is right. Our youth are taking drugs, are playing Ludo, are gambling, because they have nothing. And by the way, it is very dangerous. When they gamble, they need food. That's why they are breaking our small houses. That's why they are taking our small boats. So we need to employ our youth. That's why they are energetic and whatever, so that they produce and the economy will not grow. Roads, and I can tell you the cost of roads don't be cheap, because we know the cost, how much it is, there's research done. And as the cost of roads become cheap, transport becomes cheap. As transport becomes cheap, production goes higher. More money in our pockets, more to spend on, and whatever else to do. What do we have for Lango as a long term? First of all, Lango is a part of Uganda. Lango must be developed. And equitably what? Developed. All sectors which have issues that they have lack development, they will be developed. That's one of the things is infrastructure. Second thing is to make sure that people are healthy, to make sure that Lango has money, the cotton industry must be revamped, the union must come back, the spinning mill must come back, and even other industries must be built. In fact, you need even an airport. You see, you look as if you're at the center of an, and there's a lot of tourism, as you see. You have heard about those things in Dokoro, those Kabaka? What are Kabaka sites? Those sites there. Yeah. So we have a lot of things. So we have a lot of this, and tourism is one of the sectors which is now currently bringing money. So I have a road plan for the whole country, but Lango is more inclusive, but it must also be one of the beneficiaries. Now you have your teams. One of the teams is, I have my mayor here, Wade, I have here Brian, I have here Isaac, I have Newton. These are the people who must implement our programs as we speak, as we go ahead. And this is very important that we should work as a team to deal with it. Why should people trust me? I come with experience. Everybody work, whatever work has been given, I have produced what? Results. Nobody has ever raised that I'm failed. I wanted to live with this cooperative union. The farmer said, my friend, and about everybody, we are not going to live. Ask me. So there are times they said, even they said they will move my house. They will throw my house down if I don't what? They will move my house. So I said, okay, I'm here. So these are things I want to tell you that it is time. We need a person who will know the process. But also, I also want to tell you, I want to take you to the Bible. I want you to, those who read the Bible, 1 Chronicles, chapter 29, verse 26 and 27. Those who know, have you got it, my brother? You're opening the Bible.
1 Chronicles chapter?
1 Chronicles, chapter 29, verse 26 and 27. I want you to read it for me so that then I can conclude. As I'm saying, you are looking for it. So, you should trust me. I'm a good worker. I can tell you, I have worked in institutions, nobody. When I was leaving World Bank, the president of World Bank office and said, where are you going, my lad? I said, I'm going. He said, what? As you see, when Geoffrey told you, where because of my good working, they had to tell me as a consultant for both World Bank and IMF, and still my finger works. What it means is I've been not removed in the system. When I reach there, I just put my finger, I pass, and I have what we call as a cassette. That shows the trust and the capacity I have. You can do a record, you can book about me. I am a professional accountant. I studied the CPA Kenya. Now I studied ACCA UK. I did the CPA America. So wherever in the systems I know already. Unfortunately, I failed to know French. I told the Geoffrey to teach me French. But I'm one of those when I'm in the international market. The French love me. The English people speaking love me. The Portuguese love me. And that's why they always entrust me with me leading them in their teams.
Thank you.
So that means if those people, if a French would can can accept an English person. You know, when it comes to voting, if the English votes the English, the French votes the Englishman, the Portuguese vote. I am the only one who has failed to know those languages. But when I come in those markets, because of trust and what the world has put me ahead. When we were talking about involvement, you remember when we were fighting for a stadium, you know, when we were there, you saw we raised the point, we are among those who raised the voice that we need that stadium, what? If I were doing it, because I'm a Iranian. In fact, I told you from the beginning, I'm a Iranian who went to marry, but now,
Thank you.
So have you got my reading?
Okay. You're reading First Chronicles, chapter 27, verse 26.
Verse chapter 29.
29, I mean, verse 26 to 27. I will read in both the local language and in English. The English version reads, David, son of Jesse, was king over all Israel. He ruled over Israel for 40 years, 7 in Hebron and 33 in Jerusalem. And then in Eblang Kiti. Daudi wata Yeshu, Rimolojo Echarael Kitono. En Rimolojo Echarael Bimwaki Piramwen Twal. En Obeda Lodge Hebron, Bimwaki Abiro. Eka Teloj Jerusalem, Bimwaki Piradek Yadek.
If you are aware, Joseph was the most loved person by God. You are aware Joseph was son of Jesse. When they were going to look for a king, to replace King Saul, because King Saul, Israel asked from God, and Saul, God chose their own. When Saul was mistreating them, they went to him and said, we want king now from you, not from themselves. Just David was the son of Jesse. So when the angel went there to ask for who should they bring me one of the children to be king. So they brought the huge fat dog. They said no. They brought the most handsome. They said no. They brought those who can jump, nothing. Then they said, they are finished. Then the angel asked, is there no more one? It was prophet, it was prophet Nathan. So they said, there must be one. Said, there's one there who smells the cow is riding sheep, he smells sheep dung, what, even if you look at him, you will vomit. So they went and brought a guy smelling the dung with something done, I think torn things. Then they said, that is the king. I hope you are getting it. Now,
yes.
So it needed the king does not need to be fat, handsome, whatever. When God chooses, and you can, one of the other things, he is one of those who committed a crime, and God forgave him. You know the crime? When he was up, he was watching a woman bathing. That was a soldier's wife. Very beautiful, and you know men are beautiful. So he told the commander, take that man, the soldier, where the war is what? Tough. So they killed the man and took over the wife. And God forgave. So 40 years is very important, not? Whoever will go against it will be going against what? God. Muslims, the dua is 40 what? Days. Jesus Christ, fasted for how many days? 40 days. The children of Israel roamed in the forest for 40 what? Yes. The days of a thief.
40 days.
40 days.
Thank you, Mr. President. President, Forum for Democratic Change, Right Honorable James and Nathan Nandala Mafabi, wanachuno kwa komi ya kiki meto show maano tena. Chini niento, ugamo ubeyo kailoka President Imani Malo Ileblau, no pijo amepe uwinyo. Tingi merecha kwanyo, kwanyite kwaro mea chelo. Chiwara mere perio ya bongwen tieng perio ya biche na perio ya biro. Akwa yoling bina rego nyonumo pedong atiche. Chawa wando yedi ngata ha pedong maikwa.
Akwa yoni pedong akwa mchema polo.
Yes.
And that time komeko bijoni dinani. One president wa attack Beramere Lira district. One of the Wala Town Council, Tabari, Stopover, Ramo Town Council, Toke Tatura, Pashama, which are out of one gold member, they were Kanamabe Akoi Primary School. Toba Yami, the Motokajo, going Town Council to Motokajo. No, what